and welcome to the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final, live from the O2 Arena here in London, England. We are at the knockout stages, an unbelievable morning's action we've seen, and it's about to get even better. Pleased to say, joined beside me, Spencer Owen. Who else? Spencer, what an unbelievable tournament we've seen so far, and some real shocks as well.
It's had everything. We've had some unbelievable performances from the likes of MS Dasari, that one of the favourites certainly coming in, but they're equally. We've seen another favourite squeeze through in Nicholas, just make it, and then arguably the biggest favourite of all, Tex, crash out of the tournament.
Yeah, let's have a reminder of the groups. This is how they finished. So just to confirm, all the group stages have now finished. 7 games played. This was how the Xbox Group A finished. And as you said, Spencer, the big shock of the day. Tex, everyone's favourite, your favourite going into it, many people's favourite, is out at the group stage. Very unlike him.
He's never happened before to him this year. He's got to semi-final stage in every tournament he's played, at least, if not gone the distance. So big shock there, but also great performance from the other 2 English lads, Stokes and Tass, who make it through. Stokes topping the group. This was a good kind of example of how a lot of the groups went in terms of tightness between players, people narrowly missing out, sometimes on goal difference, and generally, with the exception of Group B, which you see on the screen, 13 points was enough to win your group. However, MS Dasari broke the mould with 21. Yeah,
and this is how Group B finished. And the story of the day, MS Dasari, it couldn't have gone any better. 21 points from 7 played. Goal difference plus 18, the perfect tournament so far.
Yeah, won every single game. What more can you do? But you didn't have to win every single game to make it out of the group. That was shown by everyone else getting through with 13 points or less. The next game is the most important one, and every single game he gets through will continue to be the most important one now. It's knockout football, and he's got a few more games to go if he's going to have that trophy back in his house.
So that was Group B finished, and of course Group A and B were the Xbox side of things. Group C was the PlayStation side of things. This was a very tight group, and I think the story from this one, Spencer, Nicholas, who is the #1 ranked player on the PlayStation, again, another one that people thought could go all the way in this tournament, losing his first 3 games and then winning his next 4, really turned it around.
Certainly a big story, although he did make it out in the end, and as I mentioned earlier, only 1 point and 1 goal away from top place in this group, as was the small margins between first and fourth. The biggest story maybe that Lev Vinken was knocked out. So we lost him from the tournament. The big Dutchman had a fantastic year, but it's over.
And the 4th and final group, again, this was the other PlayStation group, Group D, another very tightly fought group. Pinner, who was last season's beaten finalist, of course, right here to MS Dasari. Zizinho just pipping in, though, on goal difference in that one, Spence.
Yeah, really impressed by Zizinho and Rasta Arta. The Portuguese-speaking community will be very happy with those 2 getting through.
So this is how it all looks. I'm going to put you on the spot now. There's some mouth-watering ties here. Which one stands out for you?
I think Megabit MS Dasari on the Xbox is a fantastic game. Obviously, MS Dasari winning his group and winning every single game so far, so Megabit couldn't have a harder draw. But also, on the PlayStation side, we've got some great matchups. Mo Alba versus Pinner is going to be fantastic. We've got attack versus defence with Uston versus Rasta Arta, and Nicholas versus Zizinho, Argentina versus Brazil.
OK, so we started with 32. We are down to just 16. Let's meet the Xbox players. So here they come. The big story, of course, Tex is not here, but we're still left with some very good competitors here, Spence.
Leading the way, we have Goal Machine, who kind of turned his name on a sixpence because he actually conceded the joint least goals. Not so much about scoring goals for him, about not conceding them so far.
Yeah, they're the other players just taking their seats. Danny as well, very animated, Danny, always.
Yeah, you get great reactions from Danny, particularly if he's scoring and he's winning and he's going through. It's going to be tough for him. He had a tough group, but he went down to the last games where he got himself through. But the story, if you're looking at the whole 8 of the final 8 of Xbox, it's got to be Rogue, the team Rogue. All 3 guys getting out of their group. Fantastic effort. Can they go further? Could one of them win the whole thing? Obviously, Dasari, his team Rogue, there's every chance.
And of course, Tex, so many people talking about Tex to go back with him. Why do you think he had the tournament that he did? Because he's had such an amazing year, the most EA Sports Global Series ranking points of anyone here. What do you think went wrong for Tex in this tournament?
Well, listen, there's a million different reasons it could have happened. First and foremost, we shouldn't take away from the people that took points off him. You know, everyone that's got this far, there's a reason they're here. Whilst they might have not matched Tex throughout the year thus far in terms of the events that Tex has won and the points he's picked up, they deserve to be here, and they've done very well to get points off him, so well done to them. In terms of Tex, this was his first FEWC. Yeah. So as much as he's the biggest name, arguably, in FIFA esports right now, this is a first for him still. He's still a new, young player, so I think he'll come back stronger. But maybe this stage got the better of him on this occasion.
OK, and as well as us, we've got Mike LaBelle, who's by the touchscreen. He's got the best seat in the house with the sofa up there. Mike will give us a little bit more insight into what went wrong for Tex at this tournament. Mike, over to you.
I'm actually convinced that Adam is jealous of my seat. But when we're looking at F2 Techs, I mean, he was tied for the best defense in his group, and we have to give more and more credit to his opponents and just how fine the margins are. And the big difference between F2 Techs at previous events and this event, outside of this being the best competition, is that he wasn't as clinical as we've seen in the past. We're going to look at a couple examples on the touchscreen where you're seeing him miss time finishes or not be able to pick out a corner, and that's just out of character for someone like F2 Techs. You see he puts that wide, mistimes the finish, and that's not something that we've seen throughout the year. And Spencer said maybe the pressure got to him a little bit, maybe just wasn't your moment, and you have to play your best over the course of multiple days if you want to win an event. And this is another good example here. He gets into a bread and butter zone. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo. You're in the middle of the pitch. All you've got to do, and I do say it very easily, but pick out a corner. Pick a corner. Go left, go right, and he hits it green. It's timed perfectly, but it's going to go right down central. Van der Sar makes a save, and once again, he's not able to convert. And when you miss opportunities, FIFA is very unforgiving, especially at this level where you have to be completely clinical in every facet, in every word. You got to take your chances. That's what the name of the game. It's not always about how much possession play you have or how many chances you create, but what you do with those opportunities, those key moments. But back to you guys downstairs, not at the comfy couch, Adam and Spencer.
Thank you very much, Mike. We're going to have to join him on that stuff. He's definitely got the best seat in the house there, Spencer. We are almost ready to go, and our first feature game will be MS Dasari Megabit. What a game that is set to be. So let's throw to our casters for the first game. It is Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And yes, it is knockout time here at the FIFA eWorld Cup 2019 at the O2 Arena. If the groups weren't tasty enough and had as much excitement as they have over the last 2 days, this is where it gets even better, because this is where the prize money really starts to come into it as well. This match is worth $7,000. Every single player that's got to, you should say, the round of 16, the last 8 on their console, they're guaranteed $5,000. If you win this game, $12,000, you jump up. But this is a rematch, Richard. Semi-final last year in this exact space.
It was indeed, and who came out victorious there? The man on your screen, MS Dasari. In that picture right there, you've got the 2018 world champion, the player playing right now, MS Dasari, his coach, Gorilla. 2017 champion. He was under the team of Unilad when he won that tournament. Now with Stark Esports. And what a team. You'd say a dream team, in all honesty.
You really would. You've got 2 players that have experienced being a world champion. And we know it in competitive FIFA. You still remember the World Cup champions from 2004, 2005, 2006. That long ago. It's something that no one can ever take away from you. But as we said, Xbox quarterfinals first and foremost. Then we'll go over and have a look at the PlayStation ones. All the matches we'll be playing at the same time. Megabit, though, we have to talk about him, Richard. What a tournament. He beat Tex in the last game. The last round, he beat Tex. He stopped him from going through, ensured that he got the 4th spot in Group A.
He clutched up when he needed to, Megabit. When he needed to play his best FIFA, that's what he did. All the coaches do have an iPad as well, a tablet that they can coach and watch the plays, break it down, a little bit like Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher on Monday Night Football. They're there. They can analyse each and every single play that their teammate, their pro player, is doing. Benedict Salazar on the screen there. Pretty decent coach, would you say?
Yeah, he's a veteran in the competitive FIFA scene. Been to a number of FLWC, FEWC grand finals, been involved in the Global Series this year as well. Unfortunately, could not get himself a grand final spot this time around. MS Dasari, the only player that remained unbeaten in the group stages. 7 games played, 7 wins for the current world champion. Tex is obviously out the competition. That's the big news at the moment. Alongside the likes of Dax, not in the tournament, especially on the Xbox. So we look at Resende, not there. Dullah Mike, a great year. Unfortunately, can't get himself to the knockout stages.
One thing I want to point out as well, while Dan and Mark were up here casting the games, I were actually down very, very close, almost in the players' area where they were playing that last round of fixtures on the Xbox, and seeing the reaction from not only Goal Machine but that entire Rogue team when Goal Machine did pick up the victory against Rasu and ensured that all 3 Team Rogue players would be in the top 8. Unbelievable from that team.
Yeah.
Spencer said it earlier, team of the year by far, Team Rogue.
And I'll put my hands up. I've said a few times, when are they going to get a PlayStation player? Maybe they don't need one when 3 of them are getting to the knockout stages. Incredible scenes, all in the same Group B as well. Finding a way through.
which means now they're not going to match up in the quarterfinals or the round of 16 overall. The only time that they're going to match up is in the console semi-finals, where you're going to potentially have 3 of the 4 players on Xbox all Team Rogue if they do win their next matchup.
Well, here we go, the knockout stages are underway in London. The FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final, day 2 of the competition. MS Dasari up against Werder Bremen's Megabit. Megabit from right to left, first attack of the game, trying to just bundle his way past Eder Militao.
We've had an early goal in the knockouts. Rafsu going 1-0 up against Ajax Dani. Let's have a look at that goal right now.
And you're talking about 2 people that are very passionate when it comes to competitive FIFA.
Let's go!
And there's the passion already going 3 minutes in for Rafsu, the Frenchman, 1-0 up. Not forgetting our other games obviously underway as well. You can see him all there in front of you. FaZe Tas against Goal Machine, another Rogue player. And then he finished top of Group A. Fantastic stuff from him. Nearly actually went and scored as well. Stokes against Enrajek, the German there. But as you said, our featured matchup is about to nearly actually score a goal on there. Mr. Sorry, half chance there on the edge of the box. We'll keep you updated with all of the matches.
This will be the Xbox round of 16. We'll then take you through the PlayStation round of 16 and the Xbox and PlayStation quarterfinals.
Here's a chance, Megabit now get the first goal of the game as well. The German will strike first. And he has looked so good in an attacking sense today.
Do you know what? He looks very calm, does Megabit. He looks very relaxed, a lot of laughing, a lot of joking between him and his coach. And when Megabit is playing, not really that stressed out, when he's playing quite relaxed, he's dangerous.
I mean, when he is stressed, he's not. He does struggle sometimes.
We were in the hotel yesterday. Went up to the Sky Bar to relax after the event. Out of the 32 players in the entire event, there was 1 player relaxing, having a little beverage. Who was that? Megabit. No pressure on the German.
And what a year he's had. Represented his club and country. Won the virtual Bundesliga. Huge title it was as well for Werder Bremen. Obviously played in the FIFA Nations Cup with Germany, but unfortunately it wasn't a tournament to remember for him. Benedikt Sauter only knows that too well. He was the coach at that tournament. Now it's all about the World Cup and trying to win Germany's first ever FIFA eWorld Cup. Surprised you, doesn't it, that Germany haven't won one yet? The amount of players they have at every single tournament, every single major competition. They fill up the most spots.
Yeah, Dito came closest in 2017, losing to the man sat behind MS Dasari, Gorilla, in the grand final.
Well, it is Pogba that is a starter for MS Dasari. Chance to equalise, and somehow that one goes over the bar. Corner to come in now, Neymar towards the back post, punched away, no it's not! Ronaldo's there! And once again, doing Cristiano Ronaldo things, always from a corner, always in the air, always winning that aerial battle.
Sometimes you'll see players do a high power corner into the box where they hold down the cross button for quite a long time. Right there, that was just a tap. It were all about the placement rather than the power of the corner itself. Just lofted into the back of the box. Ronaldo wins it. And another German FIFA player right now looking to bring home that trophy. As you said, Brandon, this is Nicholas Razek. Surprise, surprise, for Rogue.
Surprise, surprise, he's looking for that same type of finish again. He did it a few times yesterday. Getting down the byline, trying to flick it up and a little cross into the box. This time it's worked for him. Back to this game now. I don't know if you just saw it, Richard, after Megabit conceded that goal. Coach, obviously Benedikt Sauter picked up the iPad. The great thing about these iPads, every single coach has got, you can clip certain moments in the game, certain big moments that you can talk about at half-time, in between the legs. It's a great bit of technology. Speaking of goals and German FIFA players, Enrajek 2-0 up against Rebel Stokes. And I think the important thing that everybody needs to remember at home as well, watching around the world, you can have a fantastic group run. It's knockout stages.
It's knockout football right now. Win, you go through. You increase your prize money. Lose, that's it. End of the road. As you see, Ajax Dani in the bottom left corner getting a goal back right there. Let's have a look at the Stokes game between the Brit and the German. It was Nicolas Razek doubling his lead, as Brandon alluded to. Danny Da Costa down that right-hand side, played into Patrick Vieira. Pull it on the edge. Ronaldo, first time finesse shot, went out for a corner, and I'm guessing the goal comes from this corner.
I'm guessing it's a little flick up cross maybe. Into Ronaldo, or not, worked it really well. Pull it inside, I tell you what. Made the keeper work before that though. Fantastic build-up play from the German. 2-0 up, Ajax Danny. Probably one of the matches of who can shout the loudest every time a goal goes in. Mbappe in the air, and that's the equaliser 30 minutes in to the other quarter-final. I tell you what, whilst we've been away, we've missed a goal as well. MS Tassari, 2-1 up, unbeaten in the competition, the only player unbeaten still in this FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final. He is trying to go back-to-back, the first ever player to go back-to-back in successive years with the FIFA eWorld Cup Championship.
Now we're just in at half-time. You see words being shared there between Dasari and Gorilla, just in the just behind Salzar's head. You can see the big screen there. Rafsu not level for much time at all. It was Eusebio getting the goal back there to send him 2-1 up against Ajax Danny, and stirring up the pot, the signature celebration from Rafsu.
We did see Goal Machine enjoy as well when he knew he got the job done against Rafsu. As we said, to ensure that all Team Row players will be into the knockout stages here in London. Incredible stuff from that organisation. First player they picked up was MS Tassari. Next thing you know, he went and won a World Championship under the organisation. And could be on for another one as well this year. Kind of aware of how the eWorld Cup will go down today. We've played our first. We've finished the groups, I should say, round 6 and round 7. So we'll play the round of 16 overall, so quarterfinals on both sides. Then we'll go down and play both semi-finals. So we'll leave Championship Sunday, the biggest Championship Sunday all year, for 2 console finals and that grand final showdown. Richard Buckley, $250,000 will be going to one lucky FIFA player.
The question is, who will be making it to Sunday? As you see, Rafsu extending his lead yet again in that matchup, flexing his muscles. Now 3-1 he leads against Ajax Danny.
Just shows as well what a break can do for you as well, Richard. That really frustrated in that matchup against Goal Machine. Comes into this one against Danny. And you have to give hats off to Rafsu as well. Last year, he went out in the groups. We're going to have a look at the goal now to put him 3-1 up. He went out in the groups last year. Simply said, I'm not letting that happen again this year. Spoke to him yesterday. I went, you're still going out in the groups? He went, never. And now he's winning.
Let's go!
In this knockout stage. And he's over the moon with it as well. Maybe even a smile coming out from the Frenchman.
It's been a first half to forget for Tom Stokes. 3-0 down against Nicolas Razek. And you can see the bracket on the screen right now for the Xbox. Stokes against Razek. Winner will play Danny or Rafsu. Tass against Goal Machine, currently goalless. And then you'll be playing Megabit versus Dasari. Back live with the gameplay right now.
In which the Saudi Arabian Prince is currently 2-1 up at the moment. Went 1-0 down early on to Megabit. And bounced back not once but twice to put him 2-1 up in this game. Chance for Megabit now over the bar.
Got to do better, has to do better with that chance right there.
No idea what's going on in that Rebel Stokes matchup. 3-0 down. No, it's only the first leg, but looking at how well he did in the groups, Richard. So well he did. Finished top, 13 points, a plus 15 goal difference for him. Scoring goals for fun he was. Picked up 4 wins, drew 1 and only lost 2. It was enough to ensure that he would be top of the group. Obviously the Xbox playoff winner from Hamburg. It's not a bad coach, as we talked about before, having Gorilla over your shoulder. A player next year would love to be back at this stage. He's only too familiar with the FIFA World Cup. As you said, won it in 2017 in Westminster. $200,000 it was there. Since then, we've jumped up another 50,000 on top for first place. He has been a fan of the iPad introduction, the technology you can use to break down moments in Dasari's game. Even a player that you probably would say is perfect like Dasari, there's always small things that you can improve upon.
Well, he's been perfect thus far in this tournament. Not dropped a single point. I think he's got a point to prove, has MS Dasari. Seeing that bottom left corner there, penalty for Ajax Danny.
There's another penalty as well, Richard. It could be 4-0 down for Stokes. Oh, he is. Penalty given away in that game. You pointed out perfectly, there was another penalty for Ajax Danny in this game. He scored that, so he's straight back in that game. But unfortunately, En Rajek is running away with it for Stokes, and then another goal goes in.
We've had a breakthrough in the TAS versus Goal Machine game, and it is Goal Machine breaking the deadlock. Let's have a look at the goal in all its glory. Mbappe, near post. Timed it green, and after an hour gone in that game, Goal Machine leading 1-0.
Yeah, it didn't really look like a most beautiful goal we saw. It was just a lofted ball over the top, and he had enough pace to run over past the back line. It was an easy finish in the end to put Goal Machine 1-0 up after a superb performance on stream before we went for a small interval. Pele comes on for MS Dasari. Eusebio 2 for Ronaldo. Only 1 goal behind his Megabit. Remember, against that game against Tex, he was trailing not once, twice, but 3 times Megabit was. He came out in the end of 1-6-5. That's the beauty of the 2 legs. Anything can happen.
I wouldn't say either of these 2 players really playing that poorly. It seems quite evenly contested at the minute. Megabit trying to create chances. He's brought on Havertz, fresh. Messi's been introduced as well. On the other side of it, Eder Militao at centre half for MS Dasari, one of the only players to use him. Pele, the 99 rated icon, being brought onto the field as well.
And I think Ajax Danny may have just equalised. Just had a huge roar. And it sounded like a huge Dutch roar, that's for sure. Ajax Danny is all square at 3-3 in that matchup. And we're going to have a look at that goal in a second. Let's see where Mr. Dasari wants to go with this one. Wants to play it forward, it looks like. Possession changes hands. And a chance to break away now for Megabit. Messi. Lots of space in front of him, lots of space in general at the back, ball roll. This is Modric now, Luka Modric on the edge of the box. Will he take the shot? Tries to play it through to Havertz, and unfortunately it's too strong in the end.
Fantastic defending from Dasari. In that play, Ajax Danny getting a goal back to level us up here at 9, forcing the save from Van der Sar, but the rebound he cannot get back to. But you just saw there with the defending, he dove in with one of his players, Dasari, with the slide tackle. And then, I think it might have been with Eder Militao. He was so patient defensively not to dive in again and to wait and to bide his time and just stall the attacker. Very, very experienced and cultured defending from MS Dasari.
Speaking of Megabit now, here he comes forward. Can he get down that byline? Timed it well. Could have been dangerous from Kyle Walker. Did enough though to clear it out for a corner. Now the world champion must have to defend this one. Whipped in it goes. Van Dijk was in there. Alexandra, the furthest player forward for MS Dasari. It should be MS Dasari's ball again. Deflection out. Yes, it is. 4-0 and Rajah. That's big news, that. Team Rogues, German Xbox representative, one of 3 of them. 4-0 up in that game, and again another player that probably should have been talked about a little bit more this year. He was so dominant FIFA 18, he was making console finals. I think the grand final last year. Back again. But this time to go further.
One of the most consistent players, I'd say, over the last 18 months. Nicolas Rajek, multiple Xbox console finalist back in FIFA 18. He was at the Grand Finals last year. He had a decent performance by his standards there. Coming into this year, again, console finalist, semi-finalist, ranking up the points. 6th on the Global Series rankings on the Xbox. He's been a very, very solid player. He's a solid pickup to any team.
Loose ball there.
Is Nicholas Razek.
He's not happy with something. Megabit there. We said M. Razek may have finished 4th in his group. Does not matter. Just a few minutes left, plus added time. It will be a slight advantage for MS Dasari headed into this second leg. Quite a routine performance from both of these two. Nothing too extravagant. Rafsu, bit of breathing space for him. I think we're going to go and check out that game after this match has just concluded. MS Dasari with a very small advantage, Richard, just 2 goals to 1.
2-1 after the first leg. Let's head on over to a goal from the Rafsu and Danny game. It has gone to Rafsu, pickpocketing Danny in the midfield. Kai Havertz, ball roll, finish past the goalkeeper, and we're going to join this game live for the remaining 10 minutes right now.
Yeah, and a huge LA there from Rafsu. We've seen it quite a while. We've seen it quite a few times, I should say, this weekend. We've seen that ball roll around the keeper. It's quite effective. Some players have tried it, some have been successful with it. Quite a few times, it just seems like there's always that little pocket of space over that back line this weekend. So, and obviously custom tactics being implemented.
Now, we're talking to Danny about the Zlatan Ibrahimovic substitution. He said whenever he needs him to score a big goal in a game, he always seems to deliver. Let's see if the prophecy of Zlatan reigns true yet again in this game. He's just been brought onto the field.
Every single player in this stage picked up $5,000. You win this, you go through to the next stage. $12,000 in your pocket. Near the eWorld Cup Grand Final. Day 2 of the competition, obviously day 3, the big day tomorrow. Tried to chip it up and then bend it into the back of the net. Very Ajax Danny-esque. We saw him do it a number of times this season.
Fantastic goalkeeper movement from Rafsu to get Van der Sar shuffled across the goal into the right position.
Corner to come in now, just 5 minutes left. Pele. That's to Maldini, who's very far forward. Everyone defensively, as if he loses the possession now, he could get counter-attacked. I think he knew that as well, hence why he's just slowed it down, get maybe 3 or 4 players back in position. Big switch from right to left, Rafsu. 4-3 up in this game, only a slight advantage for the Vitality.
Oh,
Man,
what an
that's a
awful
mistake.
touch.
He's R9, cuts inside to Havertz. Trying to trickle his way past that back line. Eden Hazard, substitution. Will he be involved in the attack? Into Ronaldo. I don't know where that one was going from R9. You think the shot's got to come in?
I think he was shocked that they were onside, in all honesty. This is a perfect opportunity to extend his lead. Going into the
rebound, it's going to fall in somehow. It was time green originally. From what I'd like to say, Ruud Gullit. Now it might be an 11-man celebration.
Don't know how on earth he's managed to squeeze it in from that angle. It's bounced off Van der Sar into the back of the net, and now it's going down as an own goal.
Well, it's hit him in the face. I don't know how much more he could do. From a very tight angle, though. Just got to get it on target and see what can happen.
Rafsu now going to be leading by 2 goals going into that second leg in these all-important round of 16 matches.
Such important matches. And it will be Rafsu. The 2-goal advantage, looking for a third. 3 minutes played of additional time, and that'll be leg 1 concluded. And I would say smiles all round for the Frenchman at the moment. 8 goals in that first leg. We've still got a second leg to come.
Still got a job to do, though, hasn't it? With only been a 2-goal game. That second leg going to be so important across all 4 matches. Each game has a different story. Nicholas Razek 4-0 up against Stoke, so we're going to have to see the comeback of the century for Stokes to get back into that game. 2 super evenly contested matches, not a lot of goals at all. Goal Machine 1-0 up against TAS, Desari 2-1 up against Megabit, and then Rafsu 5-3 up versus IX Danny.
Yeah, of course, still second legs to come in our Xbox round of 16. But before we do so, I'm going to throw it to Mike Lavelle to break down some more FIFA.
Appreciate it, fellas. I look this way, they're over there, even though you can't see it on camera. But we're going to look at MS Desari versus Megabit, and something that's been very special to his gameplay, it's often overlooked, is his efficiency from set pieces. Since FIFA 17, the introduction of MS Desari, he's scored set pieces from everywhere on the pitch, whether it's a free kick, indirect, direct, long distance, short distance, corner kicks, and that's exactly what you're going to see here. We have a corner kick, and when you're taking corners, you're always trying to mix up if you go short, if you go long, do you lob it deep, do you go to the top of the box, you name it. So what MS Desari notices right away, the goalkeeper is basically on his line. He's not going to be in a good position to challenge him, and what he's going to do is he's going to whip way away from the goalkeeper, and it kind of puts Megabit in no man's land in terms of like, what do I need to do here? How am I going to defend this lob? So it's going to go over here. You're going to see the cross, and you watch how MS Desari takes Cristiano Ronaldo and just puts him into a very attacking role in a position to be successful. And he wins the header, he challenges, and like I said, Van der Sar wasn't in a good position to come out. He couldn't cover the distance. He gets the equalizer, and it's just been something that's been part of his gameplay time and time again. And we don't always talk about it because it's not the prettiest way of scoring goals, especially not when you're looking at corners or you're looking at some of the long distance knockdowns. But it makes a big difference when you have such fine margins. But back to you, Brandon and Richard, for the second leg. We'll see if we can convert some more corners.
Thank you very much, Mike Lavelle. He's had a fantastic job all year, hasn't he? Breaking down a number of competitive FIFA matches, Foot Champions Cup, LQEs, whatever it is, here at the Grand Final as well. And that was actually something that Benedict Salazar, I saw him clip it after that corner happened. Was it needed to move the goalkeeper that far out? I think he was trying to mark the back post to Cristiano Ronaldo, but in the end, we know what Ronaldo's like in the air.
If you're not moving your goalkeeper from corners, expect to concede corners. It's as simple as that. They're that strong this year that if you're not moving that goalkeeper out into an area where they can come and collect it or punch it out, or if you're not manually flicking onto a Van Dijk or a Cristiano Ronaldo defensively, you will concede. It's as simple as that. When you're having to defend Sergio Ramos, Team of the Year, players like Kai Havertz, Ronaldo, Van Dijk, in the attacking sense, you have to do something different defensively to be able to try and inflict, sort of reduce the infliction of the pain of a corner.
Yeah, well, hopefully he won't be making that same mistake twice there. Will the German in Megabit, he's ready to jump into that next game. Obviously, second leg of this round of 16. And words of wisdom, one world champion to another here at the O2 Arena, and what a spectacle this is building into. Ever since yesterday when it all kicked off with the groups, this place is going to be electric come tomorrow.
That painting's coming across nicely, isn't it? On the bottom left corner there. I think I see Maestro. I think I can see Mo Alba on there. Tex on there as well.
And you can see every single player in their pods, the left-hand side of them. So the Xbox players in action at the moment. Then it will be the PlayStation round of 16. MS Desari against Megabit, 2-1 up after the first leg was the Saudi Arabian. To be honest, there wasn't really too much to talk about in that game regarding chances. It was quite a calm game. We saw a lot more action in the Rafsu game.
Yeah, like I said, both players played quite well. They just cancelled each other out, really. 2-1, the scoreline. I imagine there'll be more goals in this second leg between Megabit and MS Desari. This is knockout football right now. You win, you go into the quarterfinals, aka the top 4 on your console. You lose, that's the end of the road. You'll be taking $5,000 and a top 8 finish at the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Finals 2019.
And it also would mean that if MS Desari would go through, Megabit would fall earlier than he did last year. Last year he made the semi-final stage where he actually did beat the exact opponent he's playing now. Obviously, you know the story of last year. MS Desari went and won the whole thing, so you know how that score went. Second leg now. MS Desari kicking from right to left to get us underway. Megabit in that German strip from left to right. Trailing by 2-1, but he was trailing in that game against F2 Tex in round 7 of Group A. What did he do in the end? He turned it round, scored, what, 4 or 5 goals?
showed that he does have the resiliency and the hearts, you'd say, to be able to face adversity in the eye and turn it around.
And what it would mean as well, Richard, if MS Dasari was to get knocked out, we would have a new FIFA eWorld Cup champion.
If he was to defend his crown, not only would he make history for one of the first ever back-to-back winners, but also you'd have a two-time champion and coach.
Yeah, you would indeed. Try to flick that up on the volley. Oh, it's perfect. Right place, right time. 4R9 on the volley. Smashed into the back of the net. And that brought a smile to the face of Grilla. His coach sitting behind him.
What a goal it was from MS Dasari. 3-1 now. He leads. As you can see, all 4 games underway. Top left corner. Rebel Stokes needs to turn it around in a big way. The playoff champion up against Nicholas Razek, trailing 4-0. All the other games in the second leg phase currently all 0-0.
Thing is though, Rich, there really is no second chances in knockout football. In the groups, you've seen players that didn't start too well on day one, such as the likes of Nicholas, and was able to end the day okay, come into today, play a lot better, win the games he needed to. As you can see, Goal Machine 1-0 up against Tastil in the right bottom corner. Rasu still 5-3 up. And what we did see as we were just leaving the game was a change from Megabit, like an attacking change he was going to make. It's about time he made it as well. Little fact as well, if MS Dasari went and won the World Championship this year, it'll be the first country to win 3 eWorld Cups to their name in Saudi Arabia. Mr. Dunn picked one up, obviously, a few years back. And MS Dasari will be picking up 2 of them. Long, long way away from that, though. Still so much FIFA time to play. 10 minutes in, though. MS Dasari 3-1 up on aggregate. Megabit now. Neymar. Can he get himself a goal?
Again, good keeper movement there from Dasari, just shifting him across the goal to thwart any danger from Megabit from kickoff.
I think one thing I picked up on that TAS Goal Machine game, we know how much TAS likes to keep the ball at times. I've just seen Goal Machine in that little period, about 25 seconds we watched, happy to keep possession, maybe starve TAS of the ball. And don't let him play with it. At the moment, it's all smiles round for Team Rogue. All their players are winning their matchups.
Yeah. Dream scenario for Team Rogue right now.
Could be 3 players into the next stage of the competition. Here's Dasari. We'll pull back for a free kick. They could be asking questions of the referee's decision there. 31 yards out. R9 will run over it. CR7, I should say, plays short on the volley from Huller. Quite an easy day in the end for Edwin van der Sar. The pressure is really starting to fall on Megabit. Pogba into Huller.
I'll tell you what, for a second I thought that was just cannoning off of the post into the back of the net there, inches wide from going in from MS Dasari and extending that lead to 4 goals. Megabit's trying to play quick, trying to play fluid football in and around the box, but he's struggling at the minute.
Vieira trying to just get something going for Megabit. Needs to create some chance. You can see the number of bodies back for MS Dasari trying to defend this attack forward. Out as far as Ramos of all people. You don't want him in those kind of areas.
It just shows how attacking he's going right now, doesn't it, really? When Sergio Ramos is one of the furthest players forward for you, it means there's going to be gaps, there's going to be rooms and space for Dasari to exploit.
And we know more than anything, Dasari can see out games. He's happy to do so. Could he get a goal back now? Here's Megabit. Save. Better though from the German. Trying to put pressure on MS Dasari all the way to the back post. Ronaldo's waiting for it. Back over. Eusebio is there as well. And it will be another corner. Promising signs. You see, this time Van Dijk being controlled towards the front post. It was the opposing Van Dijk that was there also to defend it. Still 4-0 to end Rajak in that game. Needs to make one of these chances count. Monstrous saves from Van der Sar.
He's building into the game right now, he's Megabit.
One of these chances has to lead through a goal though. Simply does. Pull it. Back to Ronaldo. Into Eusebio off the post. He can only shake his head. Chance after chance, and that one was the one that had to go in for him. Low driven against the post. He knows it more than anyone.
You can see both players' POVs right now. Megabit going back to sort of a FIFA 18 formation right there with the 4-3-2-1. Very, very successful with this formation was Megabit in FIFA 18. He's going back to it. You can see how attacking he is right now. On the side of Desari, change has been made into the same formation that we saw him use successfully last season in that 4-3-3 second variation. Stokes getting a goal back versus Nicholas Razek. That's now 4-1.
Not sure on the minute on that game. It's seen quite a little while into it. 39 minutes in, he has got a goal back. He's got 45 minutes. He did actually miss the penalty originally. Unfortunately, he was able just to recover after it. Neymar bends that one in. Still plenty of time left. We know how competitive FIFA games can change in just a few seconds. 3 goals behind. He's got at least 45 in-game minutes to try and turn that run round as well.
It's a formation, a 4-3-3 second variation, where you can really see games out. I wouldn't be surprised to see R9 coming off.
You also see as well, Megabit's ready to get back in the game.
Megabit ready, MS Desari making a couple of changes right there to a few of his custom tactics.
Just before Megabit jumps in, he wants to see exactly what MS Desari has changed.
Desari making him wait right now.
Who's smiling as well as Megabit. A few words from player to coach. Saw it off camera as well. Grilla literally just stood up over Desari's shoulder, helped him with some of the changes he wanted to make. Only 33 minutes in, there's so much time left in this game still. Ronaldo's going to peel off to the back post for Megabit, and it was literally like someone off Sunday League then, when the ball goes out before it even comes in from a corner. A rookie mistake to make. I think he was trying to get so much bend on the ball. Unfortunately, it went out.
Whip it into that back post, don't he? That's an offside trap played, and I think he knows that he got quite fortunate then, does Megabit.
He could have been in big trouble.
Stokes with the second goal back.
If that's before the 45th minute as well.
Versus Nicholas Razek. That being now 4-2.
Megabit now, turns around, timed it green. You can see the reaction of Salzar. He thought it was going to go into the back of the net. Didn't really seem to trouble the keeper too much.
I thought he was going to fall off the back of his chair there for a second. Salzar.
Let's go and have a look at that goal then. And it came just within the start of the second half. Game on in that one. Stokes against Enrajek. Only 2 goals behind. So much FIFA time left to pull that one back. Games will go to extra time and penalties now as well. Let's not forget that. Didn't see that in the groups.
TAS and Goal Machine still 1-0.
That must be a chess match. That must be literally a game of few chances and a lot of possession.
Really good possession here, safe possession from Desari.
It's a heavy touch. It's allowed the ball to change hands. One more chance before half-time for Megabit. Look at the ongoing runner. Mbappe has to finish it, has to time it. He didn't. But if he did, sorry, he timed it yellow. Modric with the flick up cross. Easy enough to reach for Desari. Corner again. Just under 2 minutes left of additional time. Ronaldo's being controlled in the box. You can just see the red cursor above his head. Peeling towards the back post. Vieira's there as well. Keeper's off his line. Keeper is able to just match that in the air. Punch it away as far as he gets to the box for Megabit.
to be the last play of this half. 3-1, Dasari still leading against Megabit at half-time in the second leg.
It's only 2 goals. It's only 2 goals. I know Dasari's been able to keep the ball so well and look after it. A player of Megabit, though, you know he's got 4 or 5 goals in a half in him on his day at his very, very best. The problem is the person standing in front of him is a world champion. He's being coached by a world champion as well.
We have had a goal from one of the other games, and it is Rafsu further extending this game and his lead away from Ajax Danny. 30 minutes left, leading 6-3. You
can see all the games in action. The game we're looking at is on the upper half of the podium there. Just both players in there. Team management at the moment making changes. And you can see just a few changes being there across every single matchup. Only 1-0, that TAS goal machine game. Seems to be some sort of chat going on around there. Oh, hello, Richard. Oh, I have to just get your attention there. Stokes has just scored again.
Rebel Stokes now 4-3. I was turning around to see what were happening with the rest of the games from our crow's nest view from up here in the commentary booth. And Rebel Stokes, we said it'd be the comeback of all comebacks.
It could
4-0
be.
down after the first leg. It's now 4-3.
We're going to have a look at what's happening in this game. So pods 7 and 8. It's a 0-0 in this game at the moment.
We got head referee in there having a word. You can actually hear the conversation.
There's nothing to talk about. We haven't.
And I think there was
And if this is what you want
an accusation of time wasting there, but you can just hit goal machine saying it's just tactics, it's just the way I want to play. We know that TAS keeps a lot of the ball, he's possession player when he wants to be. And goal machine saying I'm just keeping the ball in the right areas, I'm not really doing anything wrong there. He still 1-0 up in that game. We'll keep you updated on that one. I think it's just about to resume again. Both players just doing changes there. You can see the result. Right-hand corner of your screen. Still 1-0 to goal machine. And you have to think for that Rajek game, Richard, he was 4-0 up. He's given away 3 goals. We're not too sure on the situation now. This is the 3rd goal. So 20 minutes left. Elastico's back-to-back. Deflection on the rebound. On the volley and tap-in. 20 minutes that's got left, Richard. A comeback could happen.
Yeah, plenty of time left in that game. Plenty of time left for Megabit to get back, but he has to be better with the ball. He has to keep it better.
Oh no, look at Eusebio. Eusebio could be off. Neymar with a very heavy touch into an accelerated fake shot. Still in possession. Just under 30 minutes left in our featured matchup. And you can see why the defence is everywhere at the moment for Megabit. He's trying to get so many players forward. Rafsu's running away with his game. 6-3 it looks like for him.
Rafsu really in the only game right now that is behind quite a large goal margin with not a lot of time left in this game. 30 minutes left to play and there's only a 2-goal swing either way. Stokes has got it back to a 1-goal swing in his game. And it's still 1-0 between TAS and goal machine.
Right, and we've got the beauty here, as you said, Rich. See both players' POVs of what they're doing, what they're changing. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see Megabit there. Dasari's happy to get back into it. You wonder why the changes are being made by Megabit. He's 2 goals down at the moment, 3-1 down in aggregate. In our first kind of section of knockout games, we'll look at the Xbox first. And we are in the second leg. Dasari, the current world champion, is leading by 3-1, as I said.
He's putting get forward on pretty much all the players right now in the midfield, in the attack.
And he's got Vieira in at right back at the moment. He's had to commit an extra man forward. Obviously that will change into 3 at the back if he wants to change a game plan. I'm assuming he will as he moves into the 70th minute, 80th minute. Played short from the free kick now. Megabit. He's known for how good he is going forward, how many goals he can score in the competition, needs to move it quickly around here. A goal would give him so much confidence into the box. It goes! Headed away by Paul Pogba.
Great defensive header as well from Paul Pogba, because you saw the icon flash green. If that had made contact with Megabit's head, that's a goal.
There's always that panic, isn't it? In and around the box, you see something flash up green. It's Ronaldo in there as well. You are in trouble. Megabit pauses again. As every single second goes past in this knockout game, he wants to change and make small critiques.
And I think
to his custom tactics, a goal has gone in another game. We'll go and check that one out in a second. I think it's come from the Stokes and Rajek game.
I believe we have had just full time. Stoke hands on head. Nicholas Rajek survived the comeback.
Oh, so not even a goal.
3 minutes of time.
This was the chance right at the end, I'm guessing, for Stokes. 1-on-1. Oh my God!
What a tackle from Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk just pretty much earning them Rajek $7,000. Last-ditch tackle, and that is full time in that game. En Rajek is through. He might have just scraped in at 4th in Group B. He's into the semi-finals on the Xbox.
What a tackle that is. That's one of them where you've got too much time. If Virgil van Dijk's close to him, he shoots a lot earlier there, does Stokes. But because you're through on goal pretty much from the halfway line, you think about it. You think, do I low-driven it? Do I finesse it? Do I go for a low-driven finesse? Do I time it and take the risk? All these things racing through your head. And Virgil van Dijk gets back, manual slide tackle. Wow.
Huge moment. Again at the FIFA World Cup, and Rajek is through. The other 3 quarterfinals are still playing. Rafsu in front against Danny. This game in focus at the moment. MS Dasari 3-1 up, and Goal Machine 1-0 up against TAS. Here's Megabit. Kai Havertz back to goal, deflection. Will it fall to R9? He's offside. It's going to be a free kick. Needs to do something a bit better for me, Megabit, in the final third. Naturally, he's rushing his chance when time is running out. And Mr. Sari, cool, calm and collective around the box. And this is the formation he's playing. He's got width in it. Pele, Pogba's in the box. One more goal would probably conclude this one. Kai Havertz back inside. Surely that's game over. Works it from left to right. Come back inside. And Eusebio will make it 4-1 on aggregate. As horrible as it might sound, it really is deja vu for Megabit. Played him last time in the knockout stages in London, the FIFA World Cup Grand Finals, and this time matches him again.
And as it stands, 2 of the 4 quarter-finalists will be from Team Rogue. Nicholas Rajek and Dossary, both. Cementing their place, unless Megabit pulls something out of the top draw.
He needs an early goal. There's an early goal. I'm sure in his head, he's thinking it's all over. He's got 12 minutes left to pull back 2 goals. But it's going to be a very tough job to even get that ball back off MS Dasari.
Yeah, straight from kickoff. Megabit bouncing back with Lionel Messi. But you've got 10 minutes to snatch the ball back off Dasari.
And I'll tell you what, there might be a big turning point over in this game. 70 minutes in, I don't know where
TAS.
the red card has gone. Probably frustration as well. That's not good for TAS. He's down to 10 men, and it's Mbappe of all players sent off on that game. You can understand why he's pressing. He needs the ball back. He's 1-0 down. Now he's only got 10 men. MS Dasari's just offside.
Gets the ball back though now, does Megabit, from that offside. 6 minutes regulation time left.
I honestly think that MS Dasari's home and dry. Unless Megabit can create something special. R9 back to goal, straight at the keeper. To go the other way, but he picked away. And so did MS Desai with his goalkeeper. Lucky enough, it was the right one. Into the box it goes again. Tries to win it in the air. Just rushed that pass. Edwin van der Sar was even in the box for that one. Attack got dealt with. Havertz. Back to Neymar.
Hold on.
We've got additional time still to come in 2 minutes. Pause cued by Megabit straight into the change as well.
Hold the phone. Megabit. 2 minutes left.
Surely not.
4-3. Are we going to be seeing our first extra time? He's gone into a 4-2-4. Everything being pumped to the max. All hands on deck for Megabit.
There's another full-time result comes in. Rafsu does pick up the victory against Ajax Danny in that knockout game. Tas and the goal machine still playing at the moment. It's got about 20 minutes left. And it really is now or never for Megabit. He matched him last year, Richard, in the semi-finals of the eWorld Cup. And now he's playing him again in the quarter-finals and could be the same outcome.
Could be another Desari victory. 2 minutes left on the clock. The only thing that man on your screen has to do is keep the ball. Sounds
easy.
A lot easier than it is.
Because Megabit have every single player charging towards you.
Constant
pressing the
pressure,
ball.
team press.
You're going to get one chance, Benedict Sousa is probably saying. You're going to get one chance. And that chance has to be perfect, has to be time green. Can we see one of the best comebacks of the weekend? MS Desari, it's all in his hands. 88th minute plus additional time. If he gets added time on 3 minutes,
Number 10, Neymar.
there's going to be even more time to do so. Expect the press now of Megabit. Just a minute left of normal time. If it's 2 minutes, he should be fine. Added time to come. It's going to be 3 minutes. Has to win back the ball. Has to challenge MS Desari. But he's so composed, so calm and collected. There's 1 minute gone already. Needs to win back the ball. Needs to just keep pressing. There's Megabit. There's the ball. Here's a chance.
Surely
Megabit
not.
to the back post. Surely. No! He's missed the ball. No! Locked onto the centre. Neymar made the run to the centre. How is he not locked onto that? He'll be asking questions. In comes the corner. In the air is Van Dijk. Headed away. And that should be game over for MS Desari. A huge let's go for him. A puff for the cheeks. The referee surely's not playing on. And unfortunately, Megabit will leave the competition again.
Oh my giddy aunt. How has that player not locked onto that ball?
I'm sure that's what we'll be asking for the next few weeks. And what a tournament it's been for the German. What a season it's been for Megabit.
What a game of FIFA.
And just to show as well, never give up. Right, we've got one more quarter-final on Xbox left to conclude. We'll follow up every single winner, every single result. Let's just get onto this game first. It's 1-0. The only goal came in the first leg from Goal Machine. Tas has struggled to break down Goal Machine. He's down to 10 men as well. 4 minutes left. Into another pause again. This game has had so many pauses in it. 4-4-2 in action when those two CDMs drop in.
That's your winner on your screen. MS Desari through to the quarterfinals, aka the top four. He will play the winner of Goal Machine versus Tas.
So he could be playing against his teammate.
Yep. We could have 3 out of the 4 top 4 on Xbox, all from Team Rogue.
And that also means that we have an Xbox semi-final lined up of Vitality Ravsu against Rogue Enrajat. You can just see him on your screen there. And this is the beauty of it, Gorilla there. Even though he's won the game, looking back at those key moments of where he's made mistakes and where he nearly gave up that game in the end. Megabit, though, you can just see him in the back of your screen there. So unlucky.
What a comeback as well for him.
And what an attitude as well this year for him. Top 10 player in the Global Series rankings, virtual Bundesliga winner. And again, into the knockout stages at the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final. that chance. It was Neymar. He was just running on the box.
I don't know if he's done a driven pass with Abby and A. Maybe if it had gone for the normal pass, would it have happened? Would it have worked for him?
It was one of them. If the pass came along, the goalkeeper was going to move as well. He had to pick away. But you're thinking that's got to be a goal. Right, free at the back.
You can see what he's done there as well. Because Mbappe got sent off, he's put him in as a cam. So he's still got the two strikers. He's still got the width as well. But he's just losing out on that third attacking player, you'd say. Probably that's the best thing that you want to do. You want to get rid of your central attacking midfielder when you do go down to 10 men. From my personal opinion.
Minutes left for Tas to try and break down the Canadian in goal machine. The Xbox One winner of the LQE in May, been in so many tournaments this year. Just really struggling to break him down, isn't it?
Yeah, look at him in every single red shirt behind the ball there for goal machine.
This is our last game to conclude from the overall round of 16. Is he onside? Yes, he is. Added time at 2 minutes. He probably won't even play it across. He'll try and keep the ball in that area. We are literally going to be seeing a 1-0 win in this knockout game. And it will set up a goal machine. MS Dasari, semi-final, alongside Ravsu and Razek. All players guaranteeing themselves $12,000. Seconds away is the Canadian. Goal machine will be in the last four. Waiting for the referee's whistle. Maybe wants one more goal to celebrate. If he even wants to attack. Vieira back to Hullet with the shot. Referee conclude this game.
1-0. Goal machine goes through. Knocks out FaZe Tas. Nicholas Razek, Rasu, goal machine and Dasari. Your top four on the quarterfinals. Look at the bracket right there. 3 out of those 4 players all representing Team Rogue. What a season they have had.
What a season indeed, and that sets up some fantastic overall quarterfinals here at the FIFA World Cup. After this short break, we will have our quarterfinals from the PlayStation 4. Do not go anywhere. It's really starting to up here at the FIFA World Cup.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the O2 here in London and the eWorld Cup final. You can see here where we stand in our quarterfinals. Dan Gaskin, run us through what you just see.
Both English competitors eliminated out of the competition, but all three Rogue members are through. Goal Machine versus MS Dasari, Nicholas Razek versus Rafsu. What an incredible lineup we have there for the quarterfinals on Xbox.
And one player whose heart will certainly be racing after taking down Megabit is MS Dasari. He's currently down on the floor with Emma.
Yes, I'm here with MS Dasari, and it was looking fairly straightforward until the end, but you are through. How does it feel?
Feels good. I played Megabit, so I know that the game will be a close game, but I took what's more enough and I win. I'm really happy. Now I'm going to play my teammate, so yeah.
And I saw you having a few words with your coach Gorilla after. What was he saying to you?
Like, he benefited me a lot, gave me a lot of tips that sometimes I couldn't see it, like, but even after the game.
And it is Goal Machine next. What are you expecting there?
I played Naweed and I played Goal Machine in the groups. I beaten him, but Naweed is a good player. But what the most important thing is one of Rogue goes to the cross-country final.
And you are the champ. You are the only unbeaten player in the tournament. Can you stay unbeaten until Sunday evening?
I hope. I think I have what it takes. So let's see.
If you do, you will make history as the first ever back-to-back winner. Good luck, MS Dasari.
Good luck indeed, MS Dasari, but it looks like he doesn't quite need luck at the moment. He has made it through to our semi-finals, but this is going to be the game that we'll be bringing you at home. Tuga versus Maestro. But before we get into the game, let's hear from Mike LaBelle down on the couch.
And that is the question. Can MS Dasari repeat? That's the new narrative. And if you missed that match, then let me hit you with the replay. Definitely the moment of the match in terms of goals being scored here. And it still comes down to making penetrating passes. And no matter if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced player, you have to look for these triangles. You have to be able to unlock that space. And he knows at this point, as MS Dasari swings the ball back to Ruud Gullit, he's looking at a triangle that's going to be forming here. You've got R9 checking back. He's in an offside position, but he's going to be checking back after this passing sequence begins. 1, 2, and 3. And a lot of the passing gets overshadowed by the skill moves. You see the flick up, you see the finish, back of the net. A lot of us thought the game was over at that point, and fair play to Megabit, showing you that he was made to create comebacks and really showing a lot of determination. And this is the clip that a lot of you saw at the end of the game. Does a great job pressing, takes his one opportunity here, forces a turnover, uncharacteristic turnover from MS Dasari, gets the layoff. And this is where you have the question, oh, where were you aiming? Did you feel the nerves? What's going on? You've got Neymar running into space. You got Messi providing. You're thinking, surely he's going to connect here. You see the goalkeeper movement has already begun. And unfortunately for Megabit, it maybe doesn't lock on. Maybe he put a little too much power. Maybe the aiming's too far forward. It doesn't have much curve in this pass, I will say that. Doesn't lock onto the right player. It goes to Ronaldo and Ruud Gullit with the block. And of course, we all saw that MS Dasari defended the corner kick and he's moving on. And sometimes you need a bit of good fortune, but all the matches on the Xbox side this far have lived up to the hype, back and forth, close games, comebacks, players having to kind of build to those moments. But now we're going to the PlayStation side. We've got my main man, Dan, as well as Onset. They're over here. They're going to cast that. Fellas, take it away.
Thank you very much, Mike, and it is time to go over to the PlayStation 4 now. Tuga from Portugal taking on Maestro from France. And we've kind of said this all day, Dan, like, how can the day get any better? How can we have any more excitement, more drama? And yet it keeps surprising us.
It just keeps surprising us every single time. There's just something else that gets us out of our seats. And now for Tuga versus Maestro. Two players who will be very familiar of each other through what they've performed this season. However, they haven't actually played against each other yet in FIFA 19's competitive tournament. So technically new, fresh opponents, but I'm sure they'll know how each other play.
And one thing that we should highlight now that we are into these knockout games, of course, we're out of the groups. All these games have to be decided. So if it is tied up after that second leg on aggregate, then of course we will go to extra time. And if needed, we will decide these games from the spot. But we see the headsets are on, the handshakes are going down, the fist bumps, whatever you want to call them. It's time to get into the PlayStation 4 semi-finals here in London. Tuga taking on Maestro.
Both of these players who kind of exploded onto the scene this season, especially with their E-Nations performances. Maestro, who won that for France, but Tuga, we're not going to forget those moments for Portugal and how he just erupted after those late goals. And of course, we saw Tuga perform particularly well in Atlanta as well, getting to the cross-console final, only losing out to F2 Tex. But no F2 Tex here to beat him this time, so perhaps he could be someone we need to be looking at to go all the way.
And two very contrasting play styles here on FIFA 19 from these two players. Dan, just some people might be watching for the first time, haven't seen too much of Tuga or Maestro. Quickly talk us through what we can expect from these two players.
Certainly at playoffs, Tuga is a player who likes to keep the ball. He plays very defensive. He's going to put 11 people behind the ball and he's going to frustrate you. But he's looked a little bit different this tournament. He has come out of his shell a little bit. For Maestro, he likes to attack. He likes to get in your face.
Well, let's see if Tuga can eke out a one-goal advantage and then play to that play style, which has been so effective for him all season long. You can hear some screams in the background. Obviously, we have multiple games going on at the moment in the PlayStation 4. We'll keep you up to date with every single goal, every single time that one of these players scores a goal to put them one step closer to the semi-finals, as you can see here. And you can see the first goal in the quarter-finals here. Looks like it's gone in between Houston and Rasta Arta.
And then Tosinho versus Nicholas is also a game that's underway right now. Nicholas, the #1 PS4 player, is down a goal to nil as well.
And here is that goal then from Houston versus Rasta Arta. And all of a sudden, Houston has come to life. Beautiful little elastico, gets it back onto the left foot of Kylian Mbappe. And he makes no mistake from just inside the 18-yard box.
And all of these PlayStation players are going to be trying to get even further through the knockouts, and we'll keep you up to date with all of the scores. And just as we had left the game as well, Maestro's just been able to grab himself a goal against Tuga.
Well, perfect timing there on the replay as well. You can see the elastico, the cricketer. They've become best of friends as far as skill moves are concerned here in FIFA 19. You are seeing them more and more used to just create that little angle, that little half yard of space to get the shot away. Maestro showing exactly why they are so effective when you're in and around that 18-yard box.
And you have to do that against Tuga. You really have to be pushing to take that lead, because we saw in the playoffs, when Tuga got a goal advantage, he would hold on, he would keep possession, he'd frustrate his opponent. He conceded such little goals throughout the PlayStation playoffs, so I feel like everyone this tournament have attacked him even more to try and ensure they get that early lead.
Well, this will force a slight change of play style here from Tuga, forced to come out of his shell a little bit more. And it will be Alexandro here, who finds the ball inside to R9 Ronaldo. Rude Hullet now. You can see that Portuguese connection, the Juventus connection on that right-hand side as well, as Ronaldo does go deflected. Behind for a corner, it was Cancelo linking up with Cristiano Ronaldo on that right-hand side for just a moment. And from the corner, he whips it in. Rude Hullet's there. What a save from Edwin van der Sar.
How many times have we seen van der Sar just get a hand to it this tournament? He's been absolutely crucial between the sticks.
Will he mix this up now? Mbappe back into the centre. It's beaten to the ball. And Tuga finds an equaliser.
And he knew exactly where he wanted to put the ball. Both times he switched to Mbappe to take the corner, because he knew it just drags Cristiano Ronaldo towards that front post, but it also puts Hullet in the middle. So you've got two to choose from, two of your big boys. They're going to be able to land a head on it. And because Ronaldo was able to rise above, the keeper was in no man's land. And Tuga's now back into it, and Maestro needs to respond.
Van der Sar connecting with nothing but air there with that attempted punch. The whip there on the corner, just too much for him. And Cristiano Ronaldo, another headed goal to add to that tally, which is just getting more and more as the tournament goes on, and FIFA 19 comes towards its close. Back for the restart then. Maestro, what have you got? Can you answer back?
Despite the fact that Maestro has been able to go one step further than he did last year in the eWorld Cup, where he was knocked out in the group stages, I'm sure that he, after the season that he's had, will be expecting to at least march on to the semi-finals, if not further. But Tuga is certainly not a competitor you want to be going up against at any point in the tournament, just because of what he has to offer and just because of how well he can control a game, especially if he has the lead.
So fundamentally sound here as a player, Tuga. Doesn't make many mistakes, but we do have some goals to report. We'll see if a mistake was the way that one of these goals came to fruition. Doesn't look like it. Pinner 97 versus Mo Alba, he takes the lead.
And then Houston versus Rastarato. It's Houston coming forward again, and he's still scoring goals for fun. A ridiculous goal difference he has so far in this tournament. and it feels like the Houston that we saw in Singapore those months ago.
Yeah, it just seems to be coming right at the right time. He had a little bit of a quiet period just before the finals. But now he seems to be back in that goal-scoring form, back to that Houston that we know, the Houston that so many people who are watching at home love, the goal scorer, the entertainer. And back to our featured game once more. Maestro, E-Nations Cup winner with France alongside Dax this year. Maybe he's going to use that as a little bit of fuel, the heartbreaking way that Dax went out of the tournament earlier. Those two incredibly close friends away from the virtual pitch.
So difficult to see all your friends being knocked out of the tournament, but at the end of the day, they're all competitors as well, and you have to put all those friendships aside and focus on yourself. But yeah, if you could use it as fuel, even better. Try and make it through and try and get those victories for your friends. So you're going to be the one walking away with the prize money and the pride.
We're about to hit the 40-minute marks. 5 minutes left here till half-time. Cristiano Ronaldo twisting and turning on the right-hand side here for the Frenchman, Maestro. R9 dropping deep. Beautiful little reverse pass there. Neymar just tried to turn away from his man. And Sergio Ramos, the Spaniard, did win the ball back, but Maestro's managed to pinch it back now. Ruud Gullit spreads the play out wide here to R9. There's the drag back. There's the ball to Mbappe! And that's the celebration we're used to seeing from Maestro, but he knows that he's still got work to do.
And it all came from him stepping up his back line at the right moment and pinching that ball back off to Tuga. And then Mbappe in those kind of areas is not going to miss from that close. Nicely slotted away. And I wonder whether it was a bit of a lesson for Maestro at the playoffs. He didn't perform at his best. He looks like he's defending a little bit like Nicholas does, to be honest. A very high back line, trying to win the ball back higher up the pitch, because then it generates chances like that. When players are out of position, especially against a player like Tuga, who is usually going to have 11 players behind the ball, you've got to take those advantages when they come.
And I think playing against a player like Tuga might actually potentially help Maestro a little bit. He's been guilty when he's not at his best. He kind of rushes his play a little bit. The fact that he has to work his way through the defence of Tuga, he'll have to break down that wall. Might actually help him out a little bit, just slow things down. And at the break here, the Frenchman is up 2-1, 1 goal advantage into the second half of the first leg.
I think as long as Maestro can be the one who strikes first every single time, even if there are equalisers from Tuga, if he can keep going ahead and ahead and ahead, he should be in a decent place to actually win this tie. However, if he goes behind, that's when I start to fear for anyone who plays against Tuga.
Well, let's take a look at how things stand here in the round of 16 on the PlayStation 4. All these games going on simultaneously at the moment. We've seen goals flying in. The surprise one for me, I say a surprise, Nicholas currently trailing Zizinho.
Yeah, Nicholas versus Zizinho is going to be an exciting one to hear how that one's going down as well. But we've seen what happens to Nicholas when he does go down, when he isn't looking at his best. He doesn't let his head drop. He comes back fighting, he comes back fiery. We'll see what happens later on as we return to this game now between Maestro and Tuga. And it's Maestro again going forward. I'm sure he would love a 2-goal advantage.
Certainly would change the complexion of this game and this tie. And R9 finding that little pocket of space, almost found a beautiful little angle for that pass. Fortunately, the man that was marking, the player that was looking to receive that pass was Patrick Vieira, and the old school Arsenal fans will know, and FIFA fans, of course. And that's a long way around the Frenchman.
And it is interesting that throughout the tournament we've seen those differences between players using Vieira or Pogba, the new footy's foot item, but here's some goals from other games. Rastarata grabbing one back against Houston, and it very calm from him.
That one was just moments before half-time, and Mo Alba, well, he was absolutely stunning yesterday. And it's Tani da Costa. He's popping up there with a goal to find his way back into that game. 1-1 now between those two.
And then back to our feature game then, Maestro versus Tuga. Can Tuga grab a goal back here and get an equaliser?
Oh, and it's got to be careful there, and just about put enough pressure on the player there to not concede that penalty for Maestro. Now he's on the counter-attack with Kylian Mbappe. All played into Neymar now. Looking dangerous, great little pass here, room for R9. The finish did not match that little turn. And they're the margins that you play with.
So many chances that have gone amiss in this tournament, just down to very minor mistakes, whether it be a lack of timing or directing it the wrong way. And I feel like those little tiny mistakes are going to creep up more and more the further we get in this tournament. But let's look at some goals elsewhere. Houston versus Rastarata. Houston able to get a third goal. Yes! The Dane showing why he should be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament.
We were talking about Nicholas, I was saying surprises, but now he's back into the game, the Argentine. 1-1. Brazil versus Argentina in that particular game. All tied up as it stands. You can see all of these games going on alongside each other. Plenty of action to keep you up to date with.
Zizinho, who has never beaten Nicholas in tournament competition either. They played 3 times. Nicholas has won twice, and there has been a draw, though. It does seem like Zizinho has been getting better and better against Nicholas. But back to Maestro versus Tuga. And back to the struggle of Tuga actually winning the ball back, which seems almost like opposite land.
Normally so good at holding that ball himself. Moran had to step in there as the cricketer had managed to buy Maestro a little bit of space, but look at this, Kai Havertz driving at Virgil van Dijk. The Dutchman, the Liverpool centre-back, doing just enough there to stop the young German. Here's Leo Messi though. Tuga coming forward, looking dangerous. Havertz again, gets that ball up into the air, comfortable there for Van der Sar.
Somewhat of a disappointing ending to a quite promising attack, to be honest, from Tuga. Needs to maybe be a little bit more experimentative with his attacks if he's going to get back into this game, but a couple of mistakes again from Maestro just to allow Tuga to regain possession and start to chip away at this defence now.
20 minutes left then in this first leg between these two in this quarter-final. A place in the semi-final awaits the winner of these games that are going on at the moment on the PS4. Again, Maestro defending so well, and he's looking dangerous on the counter-attack as well. Mbappe again, Neymar, big chance here for Eusebio, and he can't take that chance.
As frustration starts to eke in ever so slightly for Maestro now, because he knows these are chances he can't be wasting. Tuga is not a player that you can afford to be so close with. So we've got more goals coming in. It's Zizinho versus Nicholas again. I said Zizinho's never beaten Nicholas, but maybe this could be the tournament, and what a tournament it would be to do it as well.
Beautiful turn there, beautiful finish, and the Brazilian takes the lead over the Argentine. Neymar manages to almost find a repeat ball through to Eusebio as we rejoin our game live. I just get the feeling if he would have got there, maybe he wouldn't have made the same mistake before, but look at this from Tuga now. Havertz in towards the back post, and the defender just in the nick of time managed to get there. CR7 though. Can't quite work the space there using Lionel Messi. Ronaldo had found a little Argentine. And Maestro holding on ever so slightly, both players leaving it all on the table here.
Yeah, Tuga getting closer and closer though, so that's going to start to make Maestro a little bit more nervous and maybe start to rue some of those mistakes he missed earlier. He has had decent possession in the middle of the park. It's just that final third, those shots he's got away haven't been good enough. They haven't been on target, hasn't been timing them green. If he could just add that to his game, if he could just find that timing, I can see him scoring a couple of goals here and maybe putting this game away, but if he can't find it soon, I do worry for him.
Characteristic there from Tuga, giving the ball away initially. A great ball there from Let's go! And a phenomenal finish from Eusebio in the 83rd minute. Maestro leads 3-1.
Finally, he's rewarded for one of his chances, for working that ball in and for getting into that kind of position with Eusebio. Eusebio usually touted as one of the best finishers in the game, and that's why he can smash them home from distance, he can slot them home from close range as well. And now it's going to be jumping into the tactic screen for both players.
We can see the lineup from both players here, seeing what is being changed. No surprise to see what's happening on the left-hand side of the screen now. Pressure being applied.
And when you do apply pressure with that 4-4-2, it does work a treat. It can be very difficult for your opponent to keep the ball. But the thing is, Maestro isn't typically one of these players who does like to just keep the ball and waste time. He does usually look to just pummel you into the ground when he has a lead. However, ever since we saw him win the E-Nations, he did kind of change his play style ever so slightly. Almost like he learned from his teammate.
Oh, that's a great ball inside though, and he just couldn't evade the assistant referee's flag there. There was all sorts of space there for Kai Havertz on the left-hand side to try and exploit Portuguese. He's trying his best to get back into this. Difficult thing here is to judge though for Portuguese. He's down by 2, that's manageable. He goes down by 3 here with still another leg to go, Dan. And that becomes worrying. He has to take even more risk, and the game could be over before he knows it.
Whilst I would say that typically Tuga isn't the kind of player who makes comebacks, he definitely has it within him.
Havertz can't get round the right side of Kyle Walker though, and Maestro, usually laud how good he is going forward, but defensively, he's been an absolute rock so far. No mistakes being made by the Frenchman.
It's his player switching that's really been on point. He's not allowed Tuga to really get away from any of the players, especially in the fullback positions. And then when he's tried ball rolls, when he's tried croquettes, Maestro's been stepping in at the correct times and making sure he gets those tackles.
We've got another game, of course, going on at the moment. We're actually going to listen in quickly between these two and see what is being said. Unfortunately, I don't speak Portuguese.
O Messi tem ali a bola, não dá, tens o Ronaldo, não andas para trás, não vais tipo passar.
Talking about the tactics and of course using those monitors provided where you can actually rewind live footage of FIFA 19. It's a great addition actually to this World Cup. But now we'll move over to Zizinho versus Nicholas then. 2-2, 85th minute. Nicholas was able to get back into the game. Zizinho!
Oh my word, what a strike that is, but it doesn't count. Anyway, this is live. 2-2 now, as you quite correctly say, Dan Gaskin. What a battle this would be. I mean, let's just put this into perspective. How Nicholas got here. On day one, he looked down and out. The #1 ranked player on the PlayStation 4. 3 losses from 3 games in that group process. Yet here he is in another knockout round, in another quarter-final this year.
And I wonder whether he would have been expecting to face the likes of Zizinho after Nicholas came 4th in his group and Zizinho topping his group, which, I mean, is relatively surprising when you consider the names like Stefano Pina, who was in his group. But the last time these two guys did go up against each other in a quarter-final, it was a 6-2 victory for Nicholas, so I wonder if that plays on the mind ever so slightly to Zizinho.
He's going to have to concentrate until the final whistle here. Varane should deal with that. Messi made a little bit of a hash down the edge of the box, but it won't count for too much as the final whistle does go. Nothing to separate the two players there. But it looks like we might be ready now to get into our second leg between Maestro and Tuga. If you just join us, Tuga, of course, chasing the game at the moment. Maestro taking that first game 3-1.
Are you ready?
Really is two excellent competitors, but another player who's an excellent competitor is Mike LaBelle. Mike, what you got?
You guys are too kind. So we're going to revisit, of course, the Maestro versus Tuga matchup. And they have a bit of a clash in terms of styles. Tuga is someone who wants to control games. Lower scoring affairs are typically an advantage for Tuga, where Maestro is looking to be all-out attack, very prolific going forward. And I wanted to show you an example towards the end here. I really like this goal. And a lot of times when you're seeing this, you don't realize that there's a lot of mind games being played at the professional level. So you get a layoff from Ruud Gullit. And the reason that Maestro chooses to shoot with Eusebio versus making an additional pass is because Tuga can't move the goalkeeper just yet. He has to respect that this could be the open pass, or the more logical play. So he's thinking, okay, I can't move the goalkeeper if you're on Tuga's end, because you're thinking he's going to maybe have a layoff here. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to take that space, and it makes it where, like I said, goalkeeper has to stay honest. Eusebio goes direct, hits it on the near post. Top corner is the best corner. And it's just a lovely finish, and Maestro extends his lead. And it's another reason that he is just such a talented attacker, and it's difficult for people to keep him off the scorecards, excuse me. But we're going to see if Tuga can force that comeback. He's going to have to adjust his gameplay a little bit heading into the second leg. Speaking of that second leg, Dan and Mark have the cast.
I'm excited for this one, Mike. Fantastic breakdown, as always, really showing how mind games and the mental side of FIFA 19, the one thing that we can't show sometimes in commentary, perfect indication of it there with some illustration from Mike LaBelle.
It's great when you're able to pause it and analyse it. Thank you so much, Mike. But those are some of the scores then from this PlayStation round of 16. Maestro, 3-1 up versus Tuga as we watched. Pina and Mo Alba, they're tied 1-1. Houston might have wrapped up that game already with a 5-1 lead over Rastarata. And then Nicholas versus Zizinho, all tied up 2-2. Very tight, very tentative between these PlayStation players.
I'm looking across some of those scores as well. There's a few players there who have done this in the early knockout rounds. It's when you get to that semi-final, the big one, those finals, they seem to struggle. Houston, one of those players, did manage to get that PS4 win, of course, in Singapore. However, going all the way might not be something he's achieved so far, but today might be the day that he gets to that semi-final and then can think about going towards that final tomorrow. Mo Alba, another player there you might be thinking of.
I mean, over half of those names have reached a console final so far this season. Very experienced. We really have found the best of the best when it comes to the PlayStation side. And of course, we've already watched the Xbox round of 16 unfold, and we'll see what happens in the quarterfinals later. But we'll go back into Maestro versus Tuga then. And can Tuga get back into it? That's the real question from Mike LaBelle's lips, and I will echo that question as well. He's not typically a player who gets back into games after he falls a couple of goals behind, but he's always had that potential available in him. And maybe now this is going to open him up a little bit because he has to attack. He has to go at Maestro.
An early goal is what he needs here, just to put that pressure back onto the Frenchman. Just to make him start questioning himself. Are you going to throw this one away? Are you going to look back on this game as a missed opportunity? But for Maestro, another goal here, 4-1 on aggregate. I just feel that could be it. Maestro will be the player with possession from the start of this second leg, however. We are going to see maybe a little bit more patient approach here from Maestro, and I think that does actually play into his hands.
I was going to say it's great, but he doesn't make some mistake and it does allow Tuga to regain possession, but you can't expect to keep the ball for the entire game. Maybe slow and steady is going to win the race in this game in particular, though, especially against a player like Tuga. And I think it's just you're searching for that little bit of room on either side of the wings or a gap through the middle. Of course, we can see what's happening on the screen, but a lot of the players will be focusing on that radar at the bottom and seeing if any of those players are making runs, and they'll be using L1 and R1 to try and bring players closer and sending them on runs as well. You don't have to wait for the AI to do it. You can kind of conduct it yourself.
Tuga has managed to wrestle the ball back from Maestro here. Mbappe with a little reverse ball there into Ronaldo. Great tackle there from Kyle Walker. Has been an addition to a lot of pros lineups here. That footy's winner, Kyle Walker, and now on the counter-attack. Look at the space here for Maestro. Kylian Mbappe. Fake shot, ball roll, drag back, but no finish. To finish things off with a goal.
It's almost like he had the recipe complete, but couldn't quite get it in the oven to actually finish it off. But it looks like he's still going at him here.
The space here as well, R9. Fortunately, didn't fully have that ball under control, but Maestro really is cutting through Tuga with consummate ease at the moment.
And of course, it's not only being broadcast in English, but you can see all of the other broadcast teams as well at the bottom of your screen. 6 languages it's currently been broadcast in, so you can enjoy it wherever you may be.
For Tuga, some worrying moments here at the start of this second leg. Here's Neymar though, maybe looking to turn the tide a little bit, change the fortunes. The man from Portugal, R9, maybe a chance to shoot the cricketer. Draws the foul, and to be honest with you, I think Maestro will be happy with that, bringing him down.
Yeah, and I don't think it was intentional from Maestro either. It looked very dirty, but it was just one of those where the foot was left there. Let's take a look at some goals elsewhere though whilst we wait for that free kick. Rastarata and Houston. Houston had a 5-1 lead, and Rastarata had his back against the wall, but maybe he can start to walk a little bit away from that wall. Nope, Houston comes straight back, and he's going to have a 6-2 lead in this one.
A little rebound goal there. See Houston, he'll take him. However, they seem to be coming at Nicholas. He's managed to pitch the ball high up the pitch there, and it's a little mistake there from Zizinho. The pressure of Nicholas, too much to deal with. And the Argentine looking resurgent here on day number 2.
It is how Nicholas gets so many goals, by pinching that ball in those dangerous areas. It's really incredible, his defensive ability. But as we come back to this one after that free kick, Tuga not able to make anything from it. So I think you were right. Maestro probably quite happy with that man being brought down and not being given a red card either.
Great sliding tackle there from Kyle Walker in the full-back position. Now looking to release Cristiano Ronaldo, putting the defender under pressure there. Ramos did well. the pause will be lined up here by Tuga. Tactical changes on the horizon. A little scream of frustration there as well as he gives the ball away.
Yeah, it's because he had a game plan there on that attack. He saw several different red shirts swarming on the left-hand side, so he eagerly wanted to get it over them.
Well, it's Cristiano Ronaldo swarming towards goal! Laid it across beautifully there to Neymar, and the strike was taken. The goalkeeper was also moved to match that strike, denying a goal. But Nicholas, he looks like he might be denying Zizinho a shot at the semi-finals here in London. Another goal for the Argentine.
Denying him again for a third time this season. And just to go back to that strike from Maestro, it was very early goalkeeper movement from Tuga. You've got to be very brave and reading the game successfully to do that. And he's bringing the goalkeeper out as well here for the corner, very aware of the front post header.
It is whipped in towards that front post. He manages to defend it, but the pressure still being applied here by Maestro. De Gea comes out, manages to get a punch on it there. And fascinating to see here, we can literally see the pressure that's being applied to Tuga.
Yeah, the heart rate monitor there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screens. 120 on Tuga. And those are all the 4 games that we've got underway at the moment in this round of 16, or the PlayStation quarterfinals, whichever round you want to call it. These are the guys who are trying to work their way through to get even closer to lifting that eWorld Cup. And Maestro, I'm sure, definitely thinks he has a chance.
The game plan's been absolutely superb so far from Maestro. He's kept Tuga at bay. Kept that 2-goal advantage. And he stopped the screams of Vamos from Tuga as well. Mirando loses the ball. Neymar is completely through here. The Brazilian looking to use his pace to get away from the man. Recycled back inside. Havertz, R9, Mbappe takes the strike, and it is blocked, and there will be a stoppage in the play here.
Those are really difficult situations when you have the ball. It feels like you're through on goal and you're sprinting away from the defender, but when they're coming at you in a diagonal direction, it's so difficult to get past them, so you have to go back on yourself, as we can see both of the screens now and what tactics are being changed. And depending if you can read French or Portuguese, I'm sure that you're going to have a good idea of what actually is being applied. But if you play FIFA 19 enough, you can kind of get the gist of it. Pressure and possession being applied on either side, and also, of course, deep line being put in for Maestro, just dragging that defence ever so slightly back.
You can see the scores as well from the other games we have going on at the moment. Maestro, as we see, 3-1 up. Pinaramo Alba, nothing between those two, tied up at 1-1. Houston beating Rasta Arta 6-2. What a performance that is. Nicholas 99 FC coming to life. He's now 5-2 up over Zizinho. Well, back to this game. And Maestro again, he's doing a phenomenal job of neutralising Tuga, but Tuga wins the ball back here. If we look back to the E-Nations Cup, Dan, Tuga and Portugal not afraid of a bit of late drama. Here's Ronaldo. One Portuguese player to another. Is it across the line? No, it's not.
And somehow, Tuga still hasn't got that goal he's desperately searching for. So close. Was the timing slightly off, perhaps, but he still put himself in a good chance of the ball going in. Maestro's dominated the game with possession. He would have been feeling so comfortable in this half, but suddenly, Tuga's putting pressure on him at the end.
Here's R9, here's Mbappe looking to feed the run off Neymar. Couldn't quite do it. The referee will have the whistle to his lips to bring this half to a close. So tightly contested here. You just feel one mistake from Maestro, this game is wide open once again.
And he is going to be at danger of mistakes with the amount of possession that he's got. As Nicholas versus Zizinho, it's Nicholas now taking a 3-goal advantage. And surely he should be marching on now, as he is not a player who typically does throw away an advantage like that. As we watch on the scenes of Maestro and his coach, Tuga can have a chat as well. And really, I mean, if you're going to advise Tuga with anything, there's not really much you can say at this point, because I think he knows what he has to do. He's been in this situation before. It's just whether he can actually pull it off.
It's now or never for Tuga. We'll have the ball from the restart, so a chance to go forward for him. Neymar fires the ball into R9. Works the ball around the corner here to Havertz as well. Beautiful cricketer! Cannot beat the goalkeeper.
Great attention to detail from Maestro, just watching every single play in that slight bit of goalkeeper movement, and now he's rewarded with a counter-attack.
And here he is, his favourite player gets pushed to the ground. Nothing given by the referee.
As long as Maestro stays focused and he's allowed to put himself in those scenarios where he can move that goalkeeper, where he can dictate the play, he should be okay. He seems on top of his game right now.
There's a little bit of space here for Neymar. He's got a 5-star weak foot, so could go either side. Last-ditch tackle. Once again from Tuga. Maestro looking maybe to end this. Ronaldo doesn't get that timing right again.
Yeah, it's fluffed in the end, as then Nicholas is continuing his domination over Zizinho. Oh, it's nice football, it's beautiful, and it's a decent finish as well from R9. Nicholas cruising through to the next round.
That was a perfect example of why he is the #1 ranked player in the world, but here comes Tuga. Never say die attitude, and Havertz puts it just wide of the upright. Big chance there for Tuga.
He just needs one of these chances to go in, and he's right back into the game as Mo Alba versus Pina. They were tied up 1-1, but Mo Alba...
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
A man who has very much struggled against Pina this season. Maybe he can actually show him what he's made of here at the eWorld Cup.
Mo Alba is normally all smiles, but that was all business from the German. He knows how close he's getting now. Tuga wins the ball back though. We're about to hit that hour mark. 30 minutes left for Tuga to pull off the comeback. Havertz. Neymar. Hullet. Everyone's having a touch. Does anybody want to finish it though? Referee is going to give a free kick.
Tuga did have a free kick in a similar situation earlier. We can see which tactics and what's going to be changed. It's going to be a couple of personnel changes on the side of Tuga. And maybe a new implication of a different formation as well.
This is the roll of the dice. This is it right here for Tuga. This is his tournament. This is his season. 3 at the back here. Everyone charging forward. It's all or nothing.
And whilst I might not speak the language, I certainly can hear Modric when I hear it, and he's saying, should I put Modric on? Can he make a difference from this free kick?
Neymar is the man who stood over it. Messi leaves it. Flicked up here, strike on goal, and Varane is the man in the way.
And it was Maestro who dragged him out of the wall and did kind of put him there as a blockade, and Varane is quite a big wall on his own, to be honest.
That's a great ball though. Messi, fresh on the pitch, he goes down. Nothing given.
And you can really feel that this game is going to open up if Tuga can grab that goal, but he's got to be careful.
What a ball that is in behind, but the linesman's flag will go up, and Tuga's frustration starting to show now, knowing that those seconds are just ticking by now, and everyone is agony for him.
And he's just ensuring that players in the right position as well after those substitutions. And also probably setting them to stay forward. Forget about joining the defence. Because right now it's just gung-ho. Has to send everything towards Maestro's goal.
Still time here for Tuga to craft a few openings. Havertz, man over on that far side. It's Leo Messi. Comes back inside. Can't quite beat the man with the cricketer. Maybe Neymar can. Cannot beat the goalkeeper.
So many shots on target, but they're just not good enough, unfortunately. Maestro's goalkeeper movement has just been one step ahead of Tuga every single time. And the clock is starting to go against Tuga now.
And this could be the game here if Maestro can go forward. Wave his wand one more time in front of goal. Create something magical. For everyone watching home in London, the game could be done, but maybe it's Tuga. What a touch from Van Dijk.
Tuga's leaving a massive gap at the right back, but he's covering so well with his centre-backs. as we've got goals elsewhere. And it's Mo Alba versus Pina. It's the 78th minute, and it's Mo Alba going 3-1 against last year's PlayStation winner, Stefano Pina.
What a performance from the German. He was phenomenal yesterday, and he has continued just smashing through the pack today. Mo Alba 3-1 up, and this is the last roll of the dice here for Tuga.
But every change that Tuga makes, every pause, is also a chance for Maestro to double-check his tactics as well and flick between the formations, see what Tuga's going to be playing and adapt accordingly. It's going to be a corner, though, for Tuga.
Neymar looking to deliver. Man comes short. Whipped in towards that front post. Van Dijk deals with the initial danger. Cristiano Ronaldo can't beat the man. And Maestro wins the ball back, and that's more seconds off the clock.
And Maestro is now going to look to try and hold on to this ball, but you can see how much pressure is being applied by Tuga. All those red shirts just flooded around the box. And when you're throwing the ball and tossing the ball that high up in the air, you're always going to be at danger of giving it away, and those taller players coming in, stealing it with a header. But he still has retained possession, and now he can start to slow things down, spread the wing.
And how well has Maestro played this so far? 0-0 against Tuga, one of the best in the world, holding on to a lead. But for how long can he do it? Can he do it for the 90 minutes as Havertz gets away, puts the ball in towards the back post, blows the ball up! Tuga's back in this game!
And maybe that's all he needed. Just a little bit of lady luck. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper not able to keep it in his hands, and Tuga pounces on that opportunity. And now this final 10 minutes is going to be interesting, as a little bit of rewiring needed. Sometimes excitement does allow us to just pull a wire out now and then.
It doesn't change anything, though. If the result stays like this, Maestro will still go through. He needs to find an equaliser to send this to stoppage time. Maestro's still in control. And the question I was saying is, he played so well for 80 minutes. His game plan had been absolutely perfect. Doing it for 90 minutes. 80's fine. 90 is what you need.
And the trouble is, when you have held on for so long, and when you've been dominating the game with possession, and you feel like you've been playing a great game of FIFA, when something like that happens, it can really turn you around, and suddenly you start to think, maybe this isn't going to be my day. What happens if he gets that equaliser? Maestro has to stay focused, can't allow those thoughts to creep into his head. 9 minutes left in regular time for Tuga to make what would be his biggest comeback to date.
And trust me, you will hear it. You will hear the roar echo around the O2 Arena if he finds that equaliser. There's the scores from the other games on the left-hand side of your screen. 3-1 to Mo Alba over Pina. 7-3 Houston over Rastarata. And Nicholas 7-2 over Zazinho as Tuga wins the ball back.
And every time he does win the ball back, you know full well that heart rate is going to be rising as well. We were monitoring it earlier.
What a ball that is, though. Maestro might be able to break Portuguese hearts. What a save! Rebound! What a goal from that man! And what a moment to score it.
He was waiting, he was pouncing, he was hoping there was going to be a mistake from Tuga. And as soon as there was one, there was just no defenders there to help him. And another player loses the wires in his headset. The excitement just too much. And Tuga was complaining and saying, oh, it's a terrible goal. But I tell you what, it happened exactly the same the other end. And it's just revenge now for Maestro, who has a 2-goal lead.
Great save initially. Ball just pops up, though, for Neymar, who is more than happy to oblige. With not only putting the ball in the back of the net, but Maestro potentially putting him into the semi-finals. 3 minutes left, plus stoppage time. Surely not from Tuga. What a tackle that is from Maestro.
Yeah, that tackle might have just got him through to the next round. And he's won the throw-in as well. It's very simple at this point. Waste a little bit of time, keep the ball, don't allow Tuga to have an attack, and you're through, and Tuga's out, and his season's over.
And maybe he can add just a little bit of finesse onto the end of this. It falls to that man at the back post, and there's the celebration once more. Maestro, he's feeling himself.
He is absolutely feeling it. Game, set and match, Mark. It's been a great season from Tuga. From the E-Nations to Atlanta when he won the PlayStation side there. But unfortunately, he's not going to go any further. Maestro, who of course was second in the PlayStation rankings coming into this tournament, is showing us why he is a serious contender, not only to just win the PlayStation side, but also win the entire eWorld Cup.
And of course, his good friend Dax, knocked out in such heartbreaking circumstances earlier on in the tournament. Maybe he's using that as motivation, as that man on your screen, Maestro, moves into the semi-finals. Allez, says the Frenchman.
And not only do we see Maestro move on, but of course we saw other players eliminated as well. Houston was able to pick up that victory earlier. He's the one who looked amazing. But honestly, what a round of 16 that was. Maestro, Mo Alba, Houston, Nicholas. We say goodbye to Cezinio, Rastarata, Pina and Tuga. Last year's PS4 winner is out of the competition.
Absolutely incredible stuff on the PlayStation 4. It has not disappointed. It's given us everything. Drama, goals, last-minute saves. When we get back, more semi-finals after the quarterfinals coming your way.
Hello, welcome back to the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final. Spencer, we have just seen the round of 16, which is done and dusted. And these are the scores that are on your screen now. Some massive, massive results there.
Yeah, some huge results. We had 3 British guys make it through, and they're all out. We had 3 Rogue players through, and they're all through. Unbelievable from Rogue, who we could talk more about later, but they've essentially maxed out their year now. They've performed the best they possibly could with 3 Xbox players. They've got a guaranteed player, or 2 players in the semi-finals, which is fantastic. TAS losing 1-0 to Goal Machine.
Yeah,
One goal.
there.
one goal in a two-legged matchup at this level is very, very rare. That was a very tight match indeed. Maestro, we saw the celebrations from him coming out 5-2 against Tuga. Pinner is out. Remember, that's last year's PlayStation champion, defeated by Mo Alba. Nicholas goes through. Nicholas, I mean, Mike called it. He lost his first 3 games yesterday, but once he got going, he's won every game since. And Mike said, I would not want to play Nicholas. I think it'd be brave to bet against Nicholas now on the PlayStation side.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable round of action. And one of the players is with Emma now. She is with Maestro. Emma, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. I'm here with Maestro, who is showing he is a serious contender here in London. So you're into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, like you said, I'm qualified for the quarterfinal. I'm very happy. Now the next match, I think it's more Aubameyang, so I'm ready, and I can't wait the next. And I want to say good game to Tuga, because he's an amazing player, and like he proved all the season, he can beat everyone. So good game to him.
And Spencer mentioned it there, your Mbappe-style celebrations, which we all love. What would it mean to you if you lifted the trophy on Sunday?
Of course, the goal of everyone here is to lift the trophy. If I can lift the trophy this weekend, it will be crazy. We all know Bruce Garnick take the trophy 2 times. Why not another French will win it, and maybe me or maybe Rafsu? We will see.
Here we go, here we go.
No, you.
No, stay here, stay here. This man also celebrated, I don't know if you heard with your headphones on, you two into the next round. Friends, enemies at the moment?
Yeah. We are friends.
Friends?
Yeah.
At the moment? Later not.
After the games, we will friend again, but during the game, not friend.
Okay, not friends for now. Well, we'll speak to you after the game. Good luck to both of you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emma. Great to hear from Maestro there. The celebrations, we always talk, whenever we talk about Maestro, the famous celebrations, and he didn't disappoint with that. Love seeing that.
He didn't. You know, I said yesterday, in the group stage, things are a little bit more pressurised. You're not seeing as many celebrations. It's more tension. But now, if you make it through, you get the goal, you get the win, you know you've unlocked more prize money, you know you're still in the competition. So we're seeing them come out a little bit more. We've got the happiest man on the scene in Mo Alba there, going up against one of the other happiest players, I'd say, as well, in Maestro. So, as they said, they're going to be friends after, but for the next few minutes when they play each other, they won't be.
Yeah, it was an interesting answer to that, like that. Right, time to throw to Mike LaBelle, who is in the best seat in the house up there in his comfortable sofa with more in-depth analysis. This is brilliant. Mike, over to you. What you got for us?
Look, Adam, Spencer, you guys are always welcome in my living room. In fact, Maestro and Tuga, you guys are also welcome in the living room, on the couch, wherever you'd like to sit. And we're going to revisit my favorite goal of the matchup, and that was very entertaining, back and forth. We saw a much different Tuga in the second leg. And we're going to talk about the ball roll drag back, which has been one of the most effective skill move combinations in FIFA for over a decade. So for all you guys that ask me, what do I need to learn for skill moves? This combination should be in your arsenal. And it starts with it's universal. Anyone on the pitch can do this skill combination. And when Maestro gets the ball in this position, he knows he wants to get it into the inside to his main man, Kylian Mbappe. He wants to hit that celebration. And in order to do that, he needs to utilize the space and create new angles. So he's going to use this to his advantage, that he has space to work with. And he starts with that ball roll, and then he's going to use the drag back, because it's going to basically allow him to recycle, to change direction, and to open up a new passing angle. He feeds Kylian Mbappe. It's a lovely, almost like a 1-2 punch. We always talk about his teammate for E-Nations with Dax and the artiste and having pretty build-up play. But Maestro, we need to put a lot of respect on his name and what he's been able to accomplish. He's a little more direct, a little more high tempo in terms of the attacking style, and he goes for those skill moves. He goes for the 1-2 punches, and it works for him, and I can definitely appreciate it, and that's exactly how you should be looking to utilize the ball roll drag back. And we've seen the results for everything on the PlayStation end, but we haven't seen all of the highlights, and I think Spencer and Adam have more highlights to showcase.
Thank you very much, Mike. So many big games that we've seen, but also there's some big games coming up, Spencer.
Yeah, Rasic versus Rafsu. Rafsu, the only non-Team Rogue player left on Xbox. Rasic obviously being one of the 3 Rogue players. It's Germany versus France. These guys had good years. Obviously, everyone that's got this far has had fantastic years, but they're not necessarily players we've seen win too many tournaments. Could they change that today by winning the biggest one of all tomorrow? It's definitely possible.
And of course, another big fixture. MS Dasari, what a tournament it's been so far, winning every single match against Goal Machine. This will be a tough fixture.
Yeah, this is again the Rogue derby. They're playing each other in the group stage. They're playing each other again here. Canada versus Saudi Arabia. I mean, if MS Dasari can win this trophy again, it's the first time anyone's won it back-to-back. or we could see our first ever Canadian winner. Huge for the North American region. Great matchup coming up.
Which match are you most looking forward to, Spence?
Of those two, I'd probably say the Rafsu game, purely because it's got that interesting element with obviously Rafsu not being a rogue player. And but if Rafsu gets that, you can see a rogue versus rogue final. I know I'm talking about rogue a lot, but I just think they really deserve a lot of kudos for what they've done, because it's so hard to do what they've done. 3 players, not only all here, but all in the final 4 of 3. It's unbelievable achievement. So they should be really happy with themselves. But now it's about individuals. It is ultimately an individual sport still. These guys have to throw their teammateness out the window and take each other on.
Yeah, it's been some unbelievable action. Uston as well. We haven't really spoken about Uston, but an unbelievable result in that last game, which unfairly we haven't really spoken about him much, but doing brilliantly. 7-3 win in a knockout game.
Huge win, and he's a player we know scores loads of goals. He's one of the best attackers in FIFA, no doubt about it. It's his defence that's been questionable at times, and this is the sort of time where it gets questioned. Latter stages of tournaments. He's got pretty much as hard a game as he can get. He's going up against Nicholas next. But if he comes through on that, I tip him. I would tip him, because if you beat Nicholas, you can beat anyone. I think the winner of that game could go all the way. I feel like it's still going to be Nicholas personally, no disrespect to Uston. I think he's turned it on now. He's found his form. But Uston, no doubt about it, if you let him through on goal, he's going to punish you. It's just a question of how many goals he concedes.
OK, we are almost ready to go. Cannot wait for these next round of fixtures. Let's head back to our casters. Dan and Mark.
Thank you, gentlemen, and it is time to get into our final quarter-final games here at the FIFA eWorld Cup at the O2 Arena here in London. Dan, we've had drama. I keep going on about it. I mean, what can we expect from these games? It's just nothing can be predicted anymore.
And we're getting to the nitty-gritty now. 4 players left on Xbox, 4 players left on PS4. We're going to be focusing on those Xbox players initially. And, I mean, the guy said it perfectly. We've got 3 Rogue members, but there's one player who's not on Rogue, and that's Rafsu. Let's see if he can battle against the Rogue guys.
He's just seen his fellow countrymen as well. Maestro, we heard him in the interview as well, saying if it isn't him, maybe it'll be Rafsu, who could do it for France, do it for that proud nation. But Nicholas Razek, what a tournament he has had so far. One of those Germans who's made their way here to the finals. Maybe he will be the first ever German champion. It will be Razek here. Want to construct his first attack of the game. Simple throw-in on this far side here. Now recycles back inside to Neymar. Tries to fire that one across, and somehow Havertz actually beat the player to it. And Rafsu do well to defend.
Honestly, every time I start to think I know who's going to win this competition, they end up getting knocked out. I was thinking Stokes was my favourite after seeing Tex eliminated, but then Razek took out Stokes. Does that mean he takes the torch now?
Does it mean that Mbappe will open the score in here? Sticking the palms there at the goalkeeper.
And what a game it was earlier as well between Razek and Stokes. Razek, who went 4-0 up in the first leg, only for Stokes to get 3 back and then not able to convert a one-on-one chance in the last minute. So Razek held on. See whether he can perform as well as he did in the first leg here against Rafsu. And I mean, for Rafsu, he is a player who kind of went under the radar. There were, of course, a couple of people who said he might do well. Mike Labelle particularly highlighted him during the pre-show.
Here's Mbappe again, similar position to what we saw just a few moments ago, and the Frenchman's going to battle back there after being dispossessed. Possession back of the ball. Razek takes a shot from distance. Van der Sar takes off to tip it behind for a corner. Mbappe once again involved. Tries to find the little ball inside there to Ruud Gullit. Nicholas Razek, be wary of the counter-attack, just going to build from the back.
And it really does show the strength of this competition when Rafsu was 14th in the Global Series rankings qualifying for this tournament, and now he's down into the last 4 for Xbox. It shows how crazy the tournament's been as well, really, with some of the favourites being eliminated. And now it's whether Rafsu can go on to do the unthinkable. Or is there going to be a potential Rogue versus Rogue semi-final on Xbox?
Razek's done a pretty good job so far of controlling the pace of this game. That's what he likes to do, how he likes to play his FIFA. However, Rafsu is one of those explosive players. Going forward, moves the ball forward quickly. Gets into aggressive areas of the pitch, looks to hit the ball early. Now Eusebio might be able to open up one of those spaces. Eusebio will once again pick the ball up here. Neymar creeping his way towards goal, and that's going to be the simplest of finishes. The third time Eusebio was involved there in the build-up play. And the final touch is the one that breaks that deadlock.
I think it's why we see so many players opt for the low driven as well, not just because it's effective at beating the keeper, but when the keeper does get down to it and makes the save, it so often will rebound out, and if you've got a poacher like Eusebio or R9 waiting, they're going to be there to put the ball in the back of the net, and Rafsu will take the lead now. Razak, who was used to leading in his previous ties, is going to have to come back from behind now against Rafsu, who really, honestly, hasn't impressed me so much. Even in playoffs, he had some incredible games as well, but he looks like a different man here at the eWorld Cup.
Yeah, he looks hungry. Nicolas Razak is going to have to answer back now. Vieira inside to Mbappe, great move. Neymar, drag back, can't beat Ruud Gullit. The physicality there. That prime icon moments foot item, really ringing true.
Yeah, and sometimes you go for that drag back and you think, all right, I might get a penalty if I go for the drag back here and I've got a player like Gullit behind me, but somehow Gullit managed to get his legs through. And I guess that's what you get for such an incredible foot item in Gullit.
And again now, it's going to be Rafsu who's creeping forward. Again, Paul Pogba, he can certainly strike them. Test the goalkeeper. It was a fairly easy question that was answered very comfortably.
I don't know whether it's down to nerves or down to pressure, but we've definitely seen more long-range shots tried and tested at this event than any other event this season. Of course, it could come down to the meta slightly developing and maybe people just wanting to get shots away because they know how difficult it's going to be to get into the box against these guys.
Speaking of getting into the box, here comes Rafsu again, and he's inside that 18-yard box. Pogba manages to just squeeze the ball through to Cristiano Ronaldo. Pressure building here for the Frenchman. As he lays that one off to Mbappe. Again, speculative shot from distance. When you've got these foot items with such incredible long shot statistics, much like Kylian Mbappe, why not have a pop?
I think my favourite thing about the microphones being added to the players as well is you can hear the buttons being hammered as well when they're going for those time shots. Just bam, bam. Very quick timing needed. And a lot of the players, when they are warming up, they just go into skill games nowadays just to ensure that they are going to be getting it timed green so they can get that muscle memory into place and make sure they're all warmed up, because it is one of the most key features, not only in FIFA 19, but of course just in this tournament in general. Get those shots timed, you're more likely to score.
A little accelerated fake shot there from Neymar just to try and burst into that space, maybe split those two central defensive midfielders in this 4-2-3-1 here from Rafsu. Pogba coming forward now, Neymar twisting and turning. Cricketers away, the little Brazilian cannot be dispossessed as Sergio Ramos finally steps in.
And I'm being told there's goals elsewhere between MS Dasari and Goal Machine. And who else but the world champion himself? Comfortably slotted away, and then it looks like he might have doubled his lead. Yes, he has. Unfortunately, has to go up against his teammate in Goal Machine, but Dasari is going to be taking no prisoners at this event.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff from the current world champion, looking for that back-to-back history-making championship here in London. Someone who might be looking to upset it is one of these two players. Rafsu again with a shot from distance, this time with Ruud Gullit. And he'll have the corner. Maybe he's looking for the corners because he's been so devastating from these set pieces. Eusebio, the back heel here. Walker gets it across. Razak will send that one out of play as the half-time whistle comes. What do you think of that, though? Maybe trying these long shots, looking for the rebounds, looking for those corners to work with?
I think at this stage in the tournament, against players of this caliber, you take shots when you get space to actually shoot, because you're not going to get as many chances as you would in perhaps other tournaments this season where there's been maybe competitors who aren't quite as good, or even if you're just playing a weekend league game, for example. These are the cream of the crop. They know how to defend, and they know your tendencies as well. Despite the fact these two players haven't faced each other all season, they would have done their research, they would have watched all those games. They'll know how they like to attack, they'll know the skill moves that they tend to go for. And you've got to try and be unpredictable, and sometimes long shots do just that.
Rafsu's won the ball back here, maybe a chance to take that long shot again, but Van der Sar, that's child's play for him. Weak shot, at least it was on target. Now Van der Sar fires that ball out wide. Just the one goal, the difference between the two players. That won't bother Nicolas Razek too much at this stage of the game. Ronaldo turning away, scoops it up, looks towards that back post. The challenge there from Ferland Mendy managed to be physical enough to just make it difficult for Mbappe.
That's why we see so many players playing Ronaldo out on that right-hand side instead of Mbappe, so he can win those headers, but of course then you do lose a lot through the centre. Now Rafs who's going to try and come forward again. He's done so well in the middle of the park with his dribbling skills with both Hullet and Pogba.
Oh, that's a great ball inside. Eusebio, surely! Fantastic fake shot from Rafsu! Pressure! What pressure!
Incredible composure in front of goal from Rafsu. He knew exactly what he wanted to do there, but he was also reacting to how Nicolas Razek was defending. Prepared to use whatever skill move needed. As MS Dasari still 2-0 up against Goal Machine. Of course, that quarter-final is still going on alongside this one. And then later on, we'll be bringing you the 2 PS4 quarter-finals as well.
I'm sure that Mike Labelle will have something to say about that finish from Rafsu there. Just taking that extra little second to employ that fake shot before the finish. Fantastic stuff from the Frenchman. And then the German has to answer back. Here's Havertz. Gets the ball back. Chance to strike it here. Goalkeeper movement was there from Rafsu to turn it behind for a corner. Sabio battling. He really has been the focal point here for Rafsu. Yeah. Only going forward, but at the back as well.
It's been messy from both players in that particular area of the park, and the ball goes in, but thankfully Van Dijk is there. Well, Rafsu just does need to be careful when he is getting the ball out of the box, not to give it away, not to make it too easy for Razek to intercept. Keep an eye on that radar. And another thing we're keeping an eye on is the game between Dasari and Goal Machine. And Dasari trying to become the first ever back-to-back world champion. And he looks like he's on his way to the semi-final, another console final.
Incredible stuff from the Saudi Arabian. He called himself the king of the jungle, and you can see exactly why now. Back to our feature game. Inside the last half an hour. Ball's going to be queued up here by Nicolas Razek as well, maybe thinking about a little change. Or maybe he's thinking that Kai Havertz can turn creator here for him. Ronaldo. Mbappe again, just a physical challenge in the middle there from Van Dijk.
I do like how Rafsu is just calmly playing the ball from left to right, and if he sees a particular amount of players from Razek on either side, he's just drifting away from them, making him shift from either side of the pitch, just making him work so hard to get close to the ball, let alone winning the ball back. And he's still got possession.
Beautiful back heel there. Looking at the left-hand side of your screen, Eusebio tried to skip past his man again. And again, you can see Goal Machine trying to put some pressure on the right-hand side of your screen as well, but Dasari, I mean, we could talk about him all day and how impressive he has been. But sometimes you just got to let the results speak for themselves.
I mean, he's still unbeaten, is MS Dasari. I'm sure he is the favourite for most people now. We've got to this stage here at the O2 Arena in London for the eWorld Cup. But Rafsu, I mean, he's playing some brilliant FIFA right now.
All into the box as well. Ronaldo. Let's go! Ronaldo wins the header once more. 3 to the good now, Rafsu.
Not only is he maintaining all of this possession, not only is he restricting the amount of attacks from Nicolas Razek, but he's also finding ways to get the ball in the back of the net as well. He saw there was the opportunity with the back post header, so he was more than happy to just dink that one over. And he's rewarded for the attempt. And now Nicolas Razek, who might have found himself 4 goals up in his previous match, now finds himself 3 goals down in the first leg in this quarter-final.
You can see the change in formation as well. Employing that 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. There's 2 men up top. That Cam just in behind, looking for those quick triangle passes, maybe find some of those runners in behind. Rafsu, though, completely in control here of this first leg.
Both Rafsu and MS Dasari in complete control, and of course they will meet each other in the semi-finals, in the Xbox final tomorrow, if they carry on. And at the moment, I can't see either player turning it around unless something drastically changes.
Rafsu keeping the pressure on Nicolas Razek here. You can see he's just hounding him at the back. Razek can't really find a way out from the back at the moment. Finally finds a pass here into Luka Modric in the midfield. Modric round the corner here to Messi. Mbappe back to the Argentine. Maybe thought twice there. Could have pulled the trigger, could have looked for that little pass back inside, but instead didn't do any quite quick enough. Just allowed the defender to get back in and win that ball back. Great play there from Rafsu.
The main difference defensively is just that...
Well, it doesn't matter about defence at the moment, unless you're Edwin van der Sar, who's the last line of it. He might have just kept Nicolas Razek in the game.
Between these two, Rafsu has just been able to find his way through the middle, whereas Razek's been trying to puncture the fullbacks.
Mbappe, chance to strike! And what a chance it was! Corner now. Pressure from the German, Ronaldo, into Van Dijk. Van Dijk again! Another corner.
Not even sure who made that final block, but Rafsu doesn't care. He just wants to hold on to this 3-0 lead.
Mbappe, falls to Hole! One back. Game very much on.
When the game gets like that and the ball's bouncing around everywhere, it's so difficult to keep track of it. But Razek kept his eye on the prize, and he was there to take the shot with Hullet as soon as that rebound was there. And even though Rafsu might feel a little bit hard done by, it's definitely a ticket back into the game for Nicolas Razek.
That makes things very interesting now. Just 2 goals, and Nicolas Razek has won the ball back in stoppage time as well. Cristiano Ronaldo driving to the byline. The goal scorer, Ruud Gullit, back inside. Razek's coming to life here. Mbappe to Gullit, cannot work the opportunity. As the full-time whistle does go.
And that's the first leg over, but still 90 minutes left in that one. And of course, we still have another game going on as well. MS Dasari is currently beating his teammate Goal Machine, but Rafsu is trying to stop it being an all-rogue affair in that semi-final. And we'll actually move over now and see the final moments of this game between Dasari and Rogue Goal Machine. It looks like it's just been a goal as well. And oh boy, it's just MS Dasari again, doing MS Dasari things. 4-0 now. Is there a chance for Goal Machine?
It's going to have to be something special from the Canadian. But he has just run into the world champion in what looks like at the moment, I think when we're completed here on day number 2, in World Championship form. And Dasari's looking for more. He's looking to get the job done here in the first leg. Ronaldo. Smartly playing this one back to Eder Militao.
It never really has gone well for Goal Machine against Dasari this season. They've faced up against each other twice. Both times it finished 8-2 to MS Dasari. Clearly there's just something that Goal Machine can't do against this man, and it's not just Goal Machine, it seems to be everyone right now. A lot of questions were asked about MS Dasari. Is he good enough? Is he going to go back-to-back? He hasn't had an amazing season.
But he's got an amazing chance on goal here. Paul Pogba. That's the first mistake I've seen Dasari make since he's been in London.
But I feel like this tournament is now Dasari's to lose. With the way he's played, the confidence that he's shown, the players that he's wiped the floor with, surely he has to be the player we're thinking of lifting that trophy. Who can stand in his way? When we look at the players that have beaten Dasari, Tex, of course, out of the competition. Nicolas Razek has beaten Dasari in late stages of knockouts, but Razek currently down to Rafsu. Who's going to step up to the task and try and take down the King of the Jungle?
Into stoppage time then. Maybe there's time for one more opportunity here for Emes Desari to really sink his teeth into his opponent ahead of that second leg. Or is it just going to be a case of playing this one smart, playing this one sensibly? And that's exactly what he does, closes it out. Professional performance there from our world champion as he picks up that 4-0 win there over Goal Machine. Nicholas Razek currently chasing the game against Rafsu.
Two incredible quarter-finals, and of course we still have the second leg to come as well. But before we get there, let's see what Spencer and Mike have to say about that one.
Yes, thank you, guys. The king of the jungle keeps on going. Can he be stopped? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm here with Mike LaBelle. What do you think of those games, Michael?
I was entertained with both of them, so that's always a good sign. And I like having the two legs so you can get a comeback. And the question is, can Emes Desari be stopped? He looked very dominant versus Goal Machine, his teammate, but you got to think they practice together, probably share tactics. If you win the majority of those practice matches, sometimes that can be an advantage mentally.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously a massive task ahead for Goal Machine to come back in that second leg. But you've got some highlights for us to show what some of these guys have been doing well. We're starting off with Rafsu, right?
We do indeed, and we are starting off with Rafsu, and this is a good example of having composure on the pitch. Right here with Ruud Holt to swing it back around, and then once he gets the ball into Eusebio, which is Rafsu's main man. So in this situation, you would think surely he's going to take a shot. You've got the goalkeeper starting to come out. You've got another defender that's going to make a step, and we're actually going to see a fake shot from Eusebio, and he basically could walk it into the goal if he wanted to, and it's just telling you that he's very comfortable on the big stage.
Yeah, he sends the defender, Varane, absolutely to the shops on that one. Okay, so that's a Rafsu goal. Got something else for us?
Absolutely, and now when we're talking about Emes Desari, almost feel like when you get an Emes Desari goal, the build-up play and what he has to offer, that has a certain rhythm to it.
It's like a dance, isn't it? It's like the MS dancery, you could say.
I don't know if that works or not, but I'm going to accept it for this broadcast. So we're going to see Neymar basically running in behind. R9's going to get the pass, and this overlapping run, he sends the runner, and it ends up just being a lovely finish. And like I said, just has a certain rhythm to how he's building up. You can feel it, you can see it, you can almost experience it when you're watching it even online. You see what's happening maybe 2 steps ahead of time, and it's a beautiful thing.
There he goes. So he's continued to run. He's probably done the LB after he's played the pass. He's continued his run there, or L1 on PlayStation. So that's some highlights from Emes Desari and Rafsu in the commanding position, obviously, from their first leg. Predictions going into the second leg?
I've been backing Rafsu the whole time, so I've got to back. I have to continue to back Rafsu, and then I don't think Emes Desari is going to be stopped by Goal Machine.
And if Rafsu gets through, and if Emes Desari gets through, which are only ifs at this stage, can Rafsu beat Emes Desari? Would your prediction still be with Rafsu then?
I'm not going to stop betting on Rafsu. It's going to be a very difficult match. Obviously, Emes Desari would be the favorite, but if we get the best Rafsu, it's possible.
And obviously, we've got the other games to look forward to later, but right now we're going to go back to the casters. We're going to take us through the second half of those legs. So over to Dan and Mark.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm not sure MS Dancer is going to catch on, to be honest with you, Spencer. I think he would rather be known as the king of the jungle. And after that first leg performance, Dan, you can't really argue with him.
It was just phenomenal. I know we were only able to jump into the goal highlights, but we saw the domination just from those. And in the final periods, maybe there's still a little bit of hope for Goal Machine. If he can peg a goal back in the opening stages, it might just get Desari sweating. But Desari has looked a different class. I know there's been some tournaments where he hasn't been at his best this year, but it's the eWorld Cup. This is his home. He has won it once already, and he's definitely on his way to winning it again.
I think Mike made a fantastic point there on the couch as well. When you're watching him play, it's almost like you can see what's about to happen in front of you. It's like he is painting that picture, and it does look so simple. It's pretty crazy. And another person who used to make the game itself, football, look pretty simple is of course ex-Manchester United and a Fulham FC player, and that is of course Dimi Berbatov, who was with Emma a little bit earlier.
Yeah, plenty of big names here at the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final, and for Manchester United fans, it doesn't get much bigger than Dimitar Berbatov, does it? You've been walking around, soaking up the atmosphere. It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, first time here, and because I'm a fan of the game, I play at home as well. I try to see how these guys are doing it, because obviously they're a lot better than me, so I enjoy it.
So you don't think you could give anyone a game here?
Well, I can try, but I know I'm going to lose. But at least I would like to get some tips, how to become better, because when I go home, I play, especially at night when I have more time, but sometimes I lose really bad.
Now, I've seen you chatting to some of the players, the likes of MS Dasari, a massive favourite here. Who's your pick to win?
Oh, to be honest, as I say, first time here and not too familiar, to be honest, with the older players. But in the end, I'll be here tomorrow as well, watching the final. And I know I'm going to be entertained because I'm watching it on the TV as well. So it's something for me that is of interest, and whoever wins it, you know, it's going to be emotional for him because I see how much of an emotion they have. So for me, just good luck to whoever reaches the final.
And no Bulgarians here this time around. Anyone to look out for next year?
Oh, unfortunately, there's no Bulgarians here, yeah? But for next year, maybe a guy by the name of Dr. Nightwatch can reach it final. And, of course, a guy by the name of Dimitar Berbatov. I will try myself to do it.
Well, we wish you luck for that.
Absolutely incredible stuff to hear from Dimitar Berbatov there. Obviously an absolute artist himself on the pitch and made things look very easy. And one player who is making things look easy, as I said, is MS Dasari. 4 to the good up at the moment over Goal Machine as we head back into our Xbox quarterfinals. But the game that we're going to be concentrating on is the second leg of Rafsu versus Nicholas Razek. 2 goals the difference between these two players.
Quite rightly, we should be focusing on this one as well because I think there's plenty more to be had. Nicholas Razek grabbing that late goal means he has every chance of getting back into this tie and turning it around and making it potentially an all-rogue affair in that Xbox final.
First attack of the game then is going to go to Rafsu. Gets the ball towards that back post. Ronaldo was approaching, well defended there. The fullback managed to get ahead on that. And not only that, keep possession as well. Stop that ball rebounding on the edge of the box where we know it can be so dangerous, those second waves of attack. And now Razek can come forward. Here's Ronaldo out wide. Havertz across to Hurley. What a start this would be, but just showed too much of it to Kyle Walker.
A lot of the attacks where Razek's actually found success is when he brings the centre-backs quite far forward and when he utilises his full-backs as well. It means he's just got more players to pass to and it opens up so much more space. It's more difficult for Rafsu to try and track back and defend every single run, but somehow Rafsu is still managing to do it. Every single time there's a pass made, he's always switched on, he's using the player switching, he's using the second man press, and he's making it very difficult for Razek to actually get into the positions he'd like.
I just wonder here if we're going to see Rafsu go for that killer blow, or is he going to play a little bit like we saw Maestro do a little bit earlier on the PlayStation 4, look to just see out this tie. It's 2 goals, it's almost a cliche at this point, but especially in FIFA eSports, it is a tough lead to try and maintain. Fantastic ball there, and again that fake shot is just absolutely sold. Nicholas Razek tries to squeeze the ball back, looking for that cut back across goal for a simple finish. Just couldn't beat the bodies.
I think for the opening stages of this game as well, we're probably going to see Nicholas Razek still more than happy to sit back a little bit, defend, absorb a little bit of pressure, but if he doesn't find a goal soon, I imagine he'll start to push up.
Ball falls back here to Neymar, and out of nowhere, quite literally out of nowhere,
it's insane.
It is now 1 goal between these two players. Nicholas Razek is back into it, and he's got Neymar to thank.
Rafsu thought he'd done enough defensively, but the ball just trickled out to Neymar, and Neymar smashes it home as well. As soon as you see that opportunity arise and you see that much space, you've got to hit them. And now Nicholas Razek just within a goal. I'm sure he's going to feel the confidence flowing through him. At 3 down, if it had gone 4 down, that might have been the end of the tie, but he is not allowing Rafsu to get away with this one easily.
Goal for the visitor, number 5, Neymar.
So we're set up here once again for a phenomenal finish, and of course, we've still got plenty of action to come. If you want to come along tomorrow down to the O2 Arena, tickets are still available to see it in person. Come and experience this incredibly high level of FIFA eSports. As Rafsu is looking to get that 2-goal lead that he had back that almost evaporated in front of him. Pogba plays this one out wide to Mbappe. The Frenchman linking up. Here's Ruud Gullit. Great ball into Eusebio. Patrick Vieira wins the ball back, but give it away sloppily.
Yeah, you can't give the ball away there. You've got to be careful. I can understand why he's trying to rush the ball, but if he gives another goal to Rafsu, Rafsu might just be able to tie this one up and frustrate him and keep the ball
from distance there, and Van der Sar turns behind for a corner.
Both of them more than happy to strike it from distance at this point. And now from this corner, Sure, he's going to be looking for Van Dijk. He's got him under control.
Oh, there's no one in the centre of the box there. The goalkeeper was caught in no man's land. Luckily gets away with it. Mendy, though, towards the back post. Eusebio beats his man. Beats the goalkeeper, but cannot get that header on target.
Now, there has been a goal between Goal Machine and Asari, and it has gone to Goal Machine, so maybe we shouldn't be writing him off just yet. Maybe there is still a possibility of him getting back into the game. As you can see, both games are currently underway on Xbox at the moment. And we'll get into those PlayStation games a little bit later as well.
So much on the line here. The prize money, huge increase, going one step further. Of course, first place takes home $250,000. A fair reward for an incredible season's work for these players.
Of course, it's not only just $250,000, but it's the pride as well, and it's your chance to put yourself down in the history books, especially for Dasari, back-to-back titles. Join two other two-times winners, Bruce Granick and Alfonso Ramos. He really would be down as one of the greats, and potentially, of course, the greatest of all time. But he still has to get through Goal Machine first, and then still has to win a couple more games as we're back to Rapsu versus Razek. Razek certainly starting to get back into it now. You can see it in his FIFA. He's feeling more confident. There's more skill moves, but maybe dallies on the ball a little bit too much.
Well, a big tackle like that can kind of restore confidence, to be honest with you, for Rafsu. It gives you that tiny little mental break sometimes you're looking for in such a high-intensity game. When you have possession, you can slow things down. You conduct what is about to happen on the pitch. Here's Neymar. He's been dropping deep, Neymar, picking the ball up and causing some problems with those incredible dribbling, agility, statistics. And team of the season, excuse me, foot item does have. There is another goal though in Goal Machine versus MS Dasari, and the Saudi Arabian, having shown maybe a dent in the armour, just remind us of how good he is. Back to this game.
Away. It's a corner now for Rafsu, and we saw how scary he was from corners, but defended well from Nicolas Razek, ensuring that Hullet was in front of Cristiano Ronaldo and Virgil van Dijk, because those are the two danger men from corners.
And you have to say here that Rafsu's been controlling this first half here in the second leg of this quarter-final, and that's not good for Nicolas Razek. He's the one that's chasing the game.
With 67% possession would back up that point mark. Razek has to change that. Can't just rely on counter-attacks.
Maybe a chance here for Pogba to have a go. Maybe it'll be Ruud Hullet. The Dutchman steps forward, plays it in now to Neymar, gets the shot away on the rebound. What a reaction save that is. Corner once more. Neymar, El Tornado, Van Dijk's there! Can't convert!
Let's go! Let's go!
But on the follow-up! Rafsu does convert, and now he has that cushion back.
And they both jump up into the air, but for entirely different reasons. Frustration on one side, elation on the other. Rafsu had done enough to get the initial header. It was an incredible save, to be honest, from Van der Sar. You don't usually see them save, but it just wasn't enough. There's always someone waiting in the wings to get the goal instead. And Razek 2 goals behind again now.
This has been a phenomenal first half, but that good work could be undone straight away. Oh, he's hit the post. Can you believe it?
He had played it so well as well. I was about to give him so much credit for that pass. And whilst it's happening, Goal Machine was able to get a goal from a corner as well to make it just 3 goals between the two. But from the get-go, it was such a fantastic opportunity for Razek, and he had done so well to play the ball across. He had done everything right. And you'd think with an open net, he'd put it there, but colliding with the post, sometimes it's just not your day, is it?
Needs to get that out of his head, needs to focus up. He's still got 45 minutes ahead of him. 2 goals is a very manageable deficit to try and claw back here. Needs to put the pressure back onto Rafsu, though. I think Rafsu will be incredibly happy with how that first half has gone. The fact that he controlled the possession of the ball so comfortably It's got to be a good omen for him looking ahead.
I mean, it's always good when you have a lead going into a second leg because you can dictate the pace, you can play the ball around, you do have that freedom to do so, but it's just in the manner of how he's done it, how well he's kept the ball away from Nicolas Razek, how well he's won the ball back when Nicolas Razek was going for counter-attacks, but it's whether he can do it again in this final 45.
Look at the space here in the middle. Ronaldo, fake shot. Will be a corner. That one was time, Green. That one was troubling the goalkeeper. Needed the block. Messi now. Trying to work that ball onto that left foot. Ronaldo gives the ball away. Rafsu can breathe.
You can really see why they are actually shooting from distance as well, because every single pass they're trying to get into the box, it isn't enough. There's just so many bodies in the way, and then as soon as they try and turn, they lose the ball, and then if you lose the ball, there's the potential of a counter-attack.
Again, that fake shot there from Rafsu is being so effective. Such a simple skill move, but it's the timing of it. When to execute. Your opponent is pressurizing you. Razek then. Lionel Messi continues his run. Van Dijk had to win that ball. I cannot iterate how vital that was.
Those are the areas where Razek struggled though, Mark, is just the little skill moves, the dragbacks, they haven't been good enough. Hasn't been predicting the play well enough, and Rafsu has had his number every single time.
Well, here comes Razek again. The German was waiting for that run of Ruud Gullit, unfortunately for him. I think he just collided with Kylian Mbappe. No, Mbappe swapping places here with Ferland Mendy. The left back has become the left winger. They're both French, and they both can whip a ball in, and Van der Sar has to deal with it. Maybe from the resulting corner. Rafsu can really put a foot into the semi-finals, lays it up. Smart play there again from the corner from Rafsu.
Yeah, tried something a little bit different, was hoping he could nod it down and then maybe find Cristiano Ronaldo just to poke it into the back of the net, but doesn't work out this time.
Look at the runners here he's got as well. Van Dijk, he's trying to get back. Messi cannot collect the ball. Margins again on the side here of Rafsu, and again he burst past the man with a scoop turn. And almost had a little bit of fortune sprinkled onto that play.
But Rafsu, even though he's had the possession, you've got to feel like he's not going to be feeling particularly comfortable, because Razek does look dangerous when he's going forward. Even though he has been dominating, you feel like there is more goals within Nicolas Razek.
Well, Mbappe just going to send that one all the way back to Mendy, who in turn sends a cross-field ball all the way back across to Kyle Walker, left back to right back. Spreading the play, stretching the defence here. Nicolas Razek. Tiny footwork there from Kyle Walker as well to create some space.
I'd quite like to see a pause soon for Razek, if I'm honest. Get some fresh legs on the pitch, change those formations, ensure that you could just now go gung-ho. Play three at the back or something. This is your last roll of the die. This is your last chance to try and step a little bit further in this competition.
Rafsu again, fully in control after that little early bout of pressure that did come in from Nicolas Razek. And again, his possession play is so tough to execute at this high level.
Instead of Razek making the pause, it was actually Rafsu who was the initiator. He's the one who wants to make some changes. He's the one who wants to maybe bring on some fresh legs, as we have a switch across to see Tasari versus Goal Machine as well. They're also in a pause. They're changing their tactics. Goal Machine still leading 2-1 in this one, which is a 5-2 aggregate in favour of MS Tasari. And I wonder, is there anything left for Goal Machine?
Just a reminder to everyone as well, if you want to come along tomorrow, watch the semi-finals and the grand final, where we will crown our champion. Tickets are still available to watch this incredible show and see that trophy be lifted.
And see that painting be finished as well.
That's very, very true. It's been a phenomenal couple of days here at the O2. As Rafsu gets us back underway. What a tackle that was from Da Costa. Razek needed that.
I mean, if Razek's done that himself, it's an incredible challenge.
Here's Modric then. Big chance here. R9 tries to fire it through to Neymar. 20 minutes left.
I like it. It was cute. It was delicate. He tried to just dink it through and then hope to volley it. He just needs one of these chances to get through. Maybe a little bit of fortune and he's right back in this game, but time is running out, and the further we get now, we know Rafsu is going to be eating away at this time, and he's done it so well all game. So it makes me think, if you are a fan of Rogue, if you're a fan of Razek in particular, it's not looking good.
Hazard battling then. Modric trying to win the ball back here for Rafsu. What a ball that is! A real chance to finish things off. Cannot beat the goalkeeper. Corner.
Goalkeeper movement, but maybe he shot a little bit early, but perhaps he was hoping the goalkeeper movement would be incorrect.
Van Dijk's there. Pullet challenges the header to get it away, but Rafsu will collect the possession.
Still got possession, and it's going to be so hard for Razek to win this ball back. You can see all of the white shirts, all of that German kit streaming back. Messi trying to intercept the pass between the goalkeeper. But for Rafsu, it's now just a training exercise. It's keeping the ball, it's switching the play, it's not allowing Razek to even have one chance.
And you can see the frustration here on the face of Nicolas Razek. He knows the longer that this goes on, the slimmer and slimmer his chances of making a semi-final get. Rafsu is valuing that football more than anything he's ever valued before. Maybe a chance here then. Really to tie things up. R9.
Oh, parce que je savais pas qu'il allait faire ça.
Not good enough.
Je voulais le brain, Samy.
Went for something fancy. Hoped he was going to be able to beat the keeper. And he's still winning possession back. Razek needs something from this attack to stay alive in this competition.
Overlapping run outside of him was from Neymar, and he couldn't use it. However, R9, he's managed to get back in here. Big chance for Ronaldo, just wide of the target. Heartbreak there for Razek.
All he can do is just laugh about it at this point, because if he doesn't laugh, he'll probably cry.
Surely this has to be now. Hazard. It's going to be a penalty. And what a way to end it would be. Edwin van der Sar desperately trying to get the ball. He had to commit. And you can see, stepping up right now is Hazard.
Let's go.
He buries it.
Let's go now. Let's go.
And the man who was in 14th seed coming into this tournament is going to be heading on into the semi-finals. He's going to be in an Xbox final. Well, at the moment, it looks like he's going to have to go up against MS Dasari, and they did already face each other in the group stage. MS Dasari did win that one against Rafsu. But maybe he could try and do what we've seen so many times this season. When you lose in a group stage, when you lose in the Swiss, you get your revenge in the knockout stages.
So what a time to do it on the biggest stage of them all. What a performance this has been from Rafsu. Unfortunately here for Nicolas Razek, it will be the end of his tournament. The goalkeeper putting up some more heroics just to compound the misery. Pullet now finally does manage to get the ball past Van der Sar. So we are inside the 90th minute, and with 2 goals to find. Unfortunately,
insane.
That mountain's just a little bit too tall.
Yeah, unfortunately, too late for Nicolas Razek, but still an incredible season, an incredible tournament for him. He made the semi-finals of the Xbox playoffs, and then he's made it to the quarter-finals here, or the Xbox semi-finals as well. So consistency is there for him. He's been around for quite some time. We saw him last year as well, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him again next year with FIFA 20.
A solid season from the German. Nothing to be too disappointed with. A great run, especially towards the end of the year. But for Rafsu, this man, he's a momentum player. And when he gets rolling, there's not much you can do. Rafsu will be in the semi-finals.
High fives all round. Razek already ready to leave. Sometimes when you have just been defeated, you want to get out of that screen, you want to get away from that camera. It's not easy losing. So much easier being on that other side. But the real question on everyone's lips, is Rafsu good enough to take down MS Dasari?
What a performance from the Frenchman. Another Frenchman finding their way into the semi-finals, joining Maestro.
Pourquoi?
But for Rafsu, what a performance that is. That was.
Je me suis dit, mais non, je me suis dit qu'il allait faire
autre chose. It was indeed. Let's take a look at some of the goals then from MS Dasari versus Goal Machine. as MS Dasari had a 5-2 lead, and he made it a 6-2 lead to pretty much secure his place in the semi-finals. And if 6-2 wasn't enough, how about 7-2?
It just looks so simple for him. It really does. We'll join the end of this game. It's now 8-3 on aggregate this game. MS Dasari, he really has turned up here in London. He loves playing here in London. It's where he wins trophies. It's where he becomes a world champion. The only real question that's left, to be honest with you, is can he go back-to-back?
Who's going to beat him? Really? The players left in this competition have been defeated by him before, whether it be in a console final or a cross-console final. He has to be the favourite, but I'm sure everyone would love to get their hands on that trophy as well. But MS Dasari is writing history, but can he finish the book?
A very interesting question. You can see the bracket here, how things are turning out. On quarterfinals, Rafsu picking up the win over Nicholas Razek there, 4-2. MS Dasari, a convincing winner over his road teammate there, Goal Machine, 6-2. And it will be those two matching up now in our semi-final on the Xbox. Incredible action continuing here at the O2 Arena. Every single game has delivered. It's been action. It's been exciting. It's been one heck of a day.
Grand final from London. Here is confirmation of the quarterfinals that have finished. The Xbox stage is over. Rafsu defeating Razek 6-3, and another big win for MS Dasari, beating Goal Machine by 8-3. Some exciting matches still to come on the PlayStation side of things as Mo Alba takes on Maestro and Nicholas against Houston. Emma is with Rafsu now. Emma.
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, an absolutely incredible performance. You were the number 14 seed, but you're into the semi-finals.
Yeah, actually, it's crazy. No one expected me here instead of Mark Labelle. Shout out to Mark Labelle. And yeah, I'm in the final. I'm so excited. So
Yep, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, Mike will be loving that. And we were just chatting off camera about how chilled you are. You are someone who's slipped under the radar. Yeah. Just tell us about the emotion and how you're feeling about tomorrow.
You know, this is my third World Cup in a row, so I know the pressure I have here, we all have here. And I think just to use my previous experiences to try to be the best I can here, and here I am in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. And you face the formidable MS Dasari, who's actually just behind you. Little debrief with Gorilla at the moment. How will you approach that one?
I played him in the groups. I lost to him 6-0. And I know it's going to be a tough match, a very hard match. But everything is possible in FIFA, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Well, France are the world champions. Will they be the eWorld Cup champions?
Why not? We're the world champions. We're the Asian champions. Why not the world champions?
And just briefly, what will you be doing tonight to prepare for tomorrow?
Sleep. Only sleep and just try some Football Manager, and that's it.
Get some good sleep.
Thank you very much, Emma. Yeah, it might be easier said than done trying to get some good sleep. But let's hand over now to Mike LaBelle, who's with Mark Hatcher in the analysis area. Guys, over to you.
Thanks, Adam. And we've got our semifinalists. I'm joined by Mr. Mark Hatcher.
Thank you for inviting me. It's so comfy up here. I can see why you're staying up here all day. It's beautiful.
We got good air, ventilation here. It's nice, no sweating. And we're going to look at MS Dasari. We got to give the man some more love. And the question is, can he be stopped? I did say Rafsu was going to make a run, though, and he has made that run. But can MS Dasari be stopped? And we're going to look at kind of the importance of having players that have 5-star weak foots and what value that adds into FIFA.
I mean, it's such a valuable thing to have. You kind of have to compare it to, if you're defending in real life football, you're always looking to show a player onto their weaker side, making that shot as difficult as possible, making those decisions a little bit more obvious for you to make as a defender. But you can see it here, the 5-star weak-footed players are something that are absolutely vital now to these pro teams.
Exactly, so Neymar gets the ball top of the box. We talked about this earlier being one of the most dangerous areas on the pitch, whether you want to use skill moves, you want to do quick passing, you want to look for a long shot. And Neymar's going to step into space here, and the reason he does that is because he wants to challenge one of the center backs. And the reason I say one of the center backs is because it doesn't really matter which one, because Neymar does have that 5-star weak foot, so he can unleash every shot type, whether it's a finesse shot, a low driven, if he goes full power, whatever you're looking to put together here, he's capable, and it doesn't matter which foot it's on.
Especially, you look at the skill moves that are effective in FIFA 19 as well. You look at the cricketer. If you can shift either side as well to create that space for the shot, it just gives you so many options when you do finally get into position to take that strike. And that's why you're seeing the likes of Neymar, as one of those staples in teams, but also why people were so excited when they saw Kai Havertz be released as that foot iron, that team of the season foot iron. But because before he had those increased in statistics, everyone was shying away from that Kai Havertz. But that increase in statistics, pace, shooting, and that 5-star weak foot have made him absolutely invaluable.
And just like in real life, you pay attention to tendencies. The same on the virtual pitch. You know everybody's capabilities in terms of what skill moves do they have, how fast is this player, how do I match up here with physicality, what's his weak foot, and you try your best on the defensive end to anticipate or at least play the percentages to help yourself out. And that's why having someone who has basically no weak foot is going to be the right move for you. And speaking of the right move, back to you, Adam.
Thanks very much, guys. Right, we're almost ready to go to our next set of fixtures, the last set of fixtures for the day. So without further ado, let's hand back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, Adam. And yes, this is our last two games of day two of the FIFA E World Cup Grand Final. We know who will be the remaining two Xbox players. And now it's time to see who will be making the console final for PlayStation 4. Mo Alba against Maestro and Nicholas against Houston. Here we go, 2 legs of FIFA in front of you. The remaining 4 players on PlayStation. Who will be the final 2? Of course, next to me is always Richard Buckley. And what a selection of games we have in front of us.
These quarter-finals right now. The big games here at the O2 Arena. Maestro versus Mo Alba. Matched twice this year. A win apiece. On the other quarter-final, Houston versus Nicholas. They matched as recently as yesterday, when Nicholas scored a 93rd minute winning header to send him into his first win here at the FEWC. 5-4 he beat him. Will it be revenge or repeat for Nicholas?
We said all players guarantee themselves $12,000 for getting this far in the competition. And that one storyline, Richard, that just keeps on going on. We have not seen a German FEWC winner ever since the competition was formed in 2004. Could this be the year that Germany go that extra step? Unfortunately, Megab out the competition.
Right now, Mo Alba, the only German hope left. We've got an early goal between Nicholas and Houston. Which way has it gone? It's gone to the playoff champion, Nicholas 99 FC.
And he has looked so silky moving into day two after what was a real struggle in day one. He lost his first 3 rounds of group action and then won 4 on the bounce. 12 points was enough to send him through in 4th in the group. He went 4th, Richards. Matched up against Zazinio, got past him, and now he finds himself in this exact matchup.
Got past him with relative ease as well. 7 goals to 2, he did beat him. You're looking how Maestro got into this situation. That was a 5-2 win against Tuga. Mo Alba, 3-1 victory against Stefano Pina. And Houston scored 7 against Rastarata, 7-3. And he scored again in the FEWC, tying up the game between Nicholas, 1 apiece.
Yeah, I think I spoke to him later. I think he said he scored 23 goals across 3 matches. Obviously, each match 2 legs. It really has been free flowing today of all the goals he's been scoring. Let's go and have a look at that goal. The only Danish player to be in the competition. I'm sure they'll be supporting from home. He's brought about 6-7 friends with him as FIFA Houston. Dragged back into the finish, timed it green, and once again does time it to perfection.
I don't know if you saw it earlier as well, the little celebration that him and his friends and fans do when he has been victorious.
It was like the Super League all over again. See, one of the licensed leagues.
Just missing the drums.
Yeah. He has got Hassan player behind him. He played for Randers alongside Mal Basha, other former FIWC winner. And their fans were insane. Still 0-0 in this game. Amaba trying to get something together. What season he has had. We said one of the most present PlayStation 4 players across the whole FIFA 19 Global Series. A semi-final in the Continental Cup, the first tournament of the year. And it really is no surprise, Richard, that he's in the last tournament of the year in the grand finals.
He's been a 3-time finalist, has Mo Alba, FIFA 17, 18 and 19. I remember seeing him in Munich, what seems like a lifetime ago, when he was victorious to secure his place into the 2017 finals.
And of course, after this round, it will be all about Championship Sunday. Here comes Mo Alba now. First chance of the game. Timed it yellow, straight at the goalkeeper. Huge save by the Dutchman of Edwin van der Sar. Out for a corner, played it short. Kai Havertz on the box, timed it green. Takes a wicked deflection, cleared off the line by Raphael Varane. And a chance to breathe for the Frenchman.
What an enigma Maestro's been this season. We talk about how a player can develop over the season.
Look no further than Maestro. Really did peak in March and April for Champions Cup number 6, in which Houston actually beat Nicholas. The 5th time they matched up. He beat him in the quarter-finals. Did Houston. As we know, cross-console final it was for Maestro, who finds himself 1-0 down in the game on the left-hand side. Cristiano Ronaldo getting the opening goal for Mo Alba.
Conversations are happening already between Maestro and Brian.
Can't translate French, but whatever Vitality Brian's saying, you make sure you got to listen.
Unfortunately can't translate French to English, but we can read a face, and that face is distressed right now from Maestro as he trails 1-0 against Mo Alba.
It's already a Frenchman into the last 2 on Xbox. MS Desari against Vitality Rapsu. Last year's FIFA eWorld Cup champion. He's on to potentially retain the title. Back-to-back years, the first ever player to do so.
Yeah, we're talking about Rogue having 3 players in the quarterfinals. Vitality, only 1 player in the semi-finals in Rafsu. Could potentially have an all-vitality cross-console final.
Potentially could be. A huge French esports organisation. Obviously did win the FIFA Nations Cup. Here's Mo Alba now looking for a second. He's going to get a second as well. As he erupts with emotion. And there's your trademark celebration from Mo Alba. Even Stylo's getting involved.
All smiles in this first half for Mo Alba, but heads back down. He knows this is a marathon, not a sprint. He's been in leads before in games, and they've gone away from him. 3-4 goals to the good have been wiped away. Mo Alba, his defensive ability isn't his strongest set point.
The one thing that he has got as a strength, he's been so present across this year, played in so many tournaments, all that experience, all does help. It's Maestro. It's a snapshot, does time it green, smashes against one of Mo Alba's defenders, added time of 2 minutes. This will be the last attack of the half. Mo Alba looking for a third, he's getting so much success out this left-hand side. Doesn't seem like there's been a defender over that. Rafa Varane pulled out, 3 players pulled out in the end, and that should do us into half-time. Yes, it will be.
You look at the stats there.
See as well. We'll come on to the stats in a second, Richard. Nicholas 2-1 up. Let's go have a look at that goal now. 31 minutes in that game. Nicholas gets back in control. R9, simple. So much power in the shot. No chance for the goalkeeper in the end. This is this game live at the moment. 42 minutes into it, Richard. And you can see the focus from the Iceman.
Both players extremely focused right now. Nicholas and Houston.
And last year, this was as far as Nicholas got.
Yep, it was at this stage Nicholas lost versus another Danish player, Marcuso.
Again, surely on the rebound, I think he's onside. Yes, he is. They'll be taking goals like that all day long. And as we said, Richard, he will do everything possible to ensure he goes one step further this year into a console final, into that Sunday. Very risky pass to try and clear that one away from Maestro. Deflected in the hands of Van der Sar. We'll go back for a free kick anyway. Interesting thing as well, I spoke to Mo just before this game. He said they've actually played quite a few friendlies coming into this tournament. Happily said maybe 20 or more games. Is that a factor?
Potentially so. When you play against somebody so much, you turn to learn tendencies. You learn routine from your opponent. Do they enjoy going down the line and then playing a pass inside? Do they enjoy looking for a flick-up cross into the box?
Nice.
See that finesse shot right there? Mo was already getting ready to press tackle.
So you don't know who is in the corner of Mo Alba as he goes through for a third. Look to try and ball roll the keeper. Van der Sar did enough. It is Stylo in his corner from the Focus Club. Number of events from this year. Unfortunately, could not get himself over the line for a grand final spot, but nevertheless, a very strong German professional FIFA player. Nice. You can hear him cheering every single tackle that he's making. It was something that Mo commented on yesterday. He even laughed at it. He was like, the thing about Stylo, he'll cheer a tackle, he'll cheer an interception. It might be small, but for confidence, it's massive. Such a big game, this.
This is the quarterfinals for you. This is the last 4 on the PlayStation. This is what it all comes down to. Who will be going into Championship Sunday alongside Rafsu and Dasari.
Speaking of those two players, both guaranteed themselves $25,000 each for getting into Sunday, getting into that console final. A $13,000 game of FIFA we are looking at right now in front of us. At the moment, Mo is in front. It's 2 legs. This is the first leg. Could he get a third? I don't know where the defence is gone. The goalkeeper's gone as well. He's offside. It's not going to matter anyway. But still, defensively,
just straight offside there. Nicholas further extending that lead. 4 goals to 1. We talked about this. I said, look, Nicholas isn't going to play bad 2 days in a row. You have to take advantage of when he's playing poorly.
That was nearly a mistake at the back from Alba.
He will always come back. He's already had his blip. He's already had his bad games. They're out of his system.
We cannot forget as well, Richard, he went back-to-back playoff champion as well. Just over the bar from Alba, nearly got a third. Just a few weeks back in Berlin, Nicholas, 4-0 in Swiss, never lost the game, went and won the whole competition, $75,000 in his back pocket. Got to this stage last year in the grand finals, as we said, fell a little bit earlier. Now he's 4-1 up, and it was like that group game, as he said. He got that blip out of the way, lost a few games early on. I'm sure he won't want to ever do that again in the grand final, because for 1 minute we thought he was going to be going out of the competition. But it was a wake-up call for him. He's been so clinical ever since. Needs to be better, Maestro. Yet to really see him create much in this game. Speaking about him and his season, the FIFA Nations Cup champion. PlayStation winner as well, the Orange Liga 1. And was in that cross-console final all the way back in Foot Champions Cup number 6. But we saw the Mbappe celebration come out time and time again. We've already seen it today.
Saw it in all its glory. However, the Mbappe celebration safely in Mo Alba's pocket right now.
He is 2-0 up in this matchup. 4-1 in the other game. Nicholas does lead against Houston. I know he scored a lot of goals today, Houston, but he's up against the Iceman. Here's Maestro, look towards the back post. You saw what he wanted to do. You can just hear the cheer every single time that Mo wins the ball back from Stylo. His coach sitting behind him. He'll be held up for a little bit too long. He's onside, Kai Havertz towards the back post. Punched away Van der Sar. He goes down to ground as well. Possession changes hands. Pause cued by Maestro. What, 6 minutes left?
I'm not sure if that pause will even come into effect. We're going to jump over to Nicholas against Houston while that pause is taking place. We want to show you as much FIFA as we can in these pivotal rounds right now. The players deserve to be given as much airtime as they do.
They'll be lucky that he has got a second leg. Does Houston, as we said, match each other 5 times this year. Then they actually played in the group, as you said, lost in the 93rd minute from a corner, did Houston. We'll be jumping back over to that game just to see how this one concludes with 4 minutes left. We nearly came at the perfect time as well. On the line, standing, Van der Sar. Huge save away, dinked it towards the box. Van Dijk's in there. Yes. Sorry for Ronaldo on the post. Mo Alba's celebrating.
Mo's off his feet, and Maestro could go down the other end and score here.
Huge chance for him. Kai Havertz wasted pass there.
That's been the story of this game. In my opinion, Maestro, he's had half chances, but that final ball has not been good enough.
Added time at 2 minutes, just a few seconds left. 2-0 up, Mo Alba does lead. Looking for a third with Messi the magician. Oh, we nearly actually just dinked up for a header somehow into Mbappe. Full time, leg number 1. And 2-0 to Mo Alba. A very strong performance.
He's halfway there. Mo Alba to going into the semi-finals and the PS4 console final.
Ronaldo back to Modric. We know how good he is in the attacking third. Houston, we've seen it all season long. We've seen it from all the Danes. Marcuso as well. Presses there, you can see the intention of what he's trying to do. He nearly won back the ball as well.
Nearly is just not good enough against Nicholas.
This is the concentration in Nicholas's face as well.
The way that he's played out from the back there into midfield and now into an attack is honestly,
without even cracking a worried smile,
so impressive. When he's playing at this level, Nicholas, I don't see a PlayStation 4 player that can beat him.
Mbappe, had to play it back to Neymar. He might have an E-Club World Cup to his name and an LQE or two. Yet to really pick up that Bigfoot Champions Cup or a World Cup. Argentina never won an FEWC tournament. Could this be their year if they can continue like this? Still got a second leg in front of us. To Houston to try and pull this back. Problem is that when you play against Nicholas, you don't get many chances. A late pause there as well.
Gevoelsjes onderaan. 4 rikting daar zal zeggen voor mij. We zijn zo klaar.
I think that's Nicholas's brother that's next to him, been sitting with him all day. Something that we questioned early on. He lost his first 3 games, not the usual coach sitting behind him. When you get to world finals like this, every single pro, family, friends, they all come over.
So like having the perfect player or coach or family member there for you. For Nicholas, he might simply love having his brother or a family member behind him while he's playing. But simply, you might not always be able to afford having somebody like that over with you, flying across the world. He's done a pretty good job with the Basel staff behind him this season. Can't say he hasn't.
The referee has indicated
he's been the leading force on PlayStation. That's why it was such a shock, that performance yesterday from him. Over 9,000 Global Series ranking points to his name. He's been the front runner on PlayStation all year long. He's still in the knockouts, trying to find Messi. The only Argentine in his team. Full-time leg number 1. 4-1. This is a huge, huge game. I think actually back to the E-Nations Cup when Argentina played against Denmark. In a really, really big game for them.
In semi-finals.
And Houston had to pull back quite a few goals. It's been, look at what Houston's done. Look at what he's done in the competitive FIFA history. E-Club World Cup when he was at Brøndby. Fredberg lost that first leg. It was a huge job. I know it wasn't Nicholas, but has he got that in him?
There's just levels to the game, in my opinion, and I've said it multiple times. When Nicholas plays at his best, he is in that same category as Desari, as Tex. Just a level above the rest of the competition. Let's see what Mike and Spencer have got to make of those quarterfinals.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm joined by Mike LaBelle once again on this lovely sofa with this lovely view. And we're going to talk about these 2 games. We've just seen the first leg, of course, Mo Alba and Nicholas in the driving seat. And it is Mo Alba you want to concentrate on. Mike, I believe you want to highlight some of his passing.
Yeah, he's a very unorthodox offensive passer in terms of his vision and how he gets the ball there, how he dictates the pace. And a lot of times this is seen on counter attacks, but even throughout his build-up, he just uses through balls different than a lot of the competitors here. So you have an example. We know where this is going. You can see that we got wide open, streaking down the pitch. How do you get there? Well, instead of what most people would do here, where you're looking for some sort of through ball in this direction or this general direction, he's going to actually split the defenders, which gives him a better chance to finish a 1v1, but it's much harder to do. And I haven't talked to Mo Alba about this, but I do not think that he's using assisted through balls, because we see time and time again how he's able to thread the angles and how he's able to create new angles, basically, that typically if you had the standard settings when you're going into a FIFA match, you wouldn't be able to do it.
In that case, that angle's better because it's playing the ball in front of his guy. He can run onto it, get there quicker than if he went behind the defender has more time to recover.
Absolutely, and it's a little more risky. As you can see, there was a better chance of an interception there, but he gets rewarded. He has more time to deal with the finish, knocks it out. He goes up 1-0 over Maestro, and we're talking about Mo Alba highlights.
Yeah.
And then when you're looking at Nicholas, very different, because Nicholas is the master of structure, and I feel that Nicholas does such a good job of just knowing when there's space. This is a great freeze frame example too. You're asking, well, how do you create space? How do you create these opportunities? What are you looking for? I don't even think he's looking at his players in this situation. He's just figured out, okay, I know where I have open room to work with. So that's what we're going to attack. And then Vieira, he's triggering his run, and Vieira is going to step into that space, and that allows him then to couple layoffs, and he gets a beautiful finish here on the near post. Everything's time green, as you would expect. Nicholas has always been very clinical, and he's definitely grown into this tournament, which I told you guys from the beginning. If he gets out of that group stage, even that slow start, he's going to be a scary opposition, and we're seeing full form, top tier Nicholas in action.
That's what we're seeing, and we're going to see this play out here. And that's quick. It reminds me, similar to a clip you showed of MS Desari earlier as well, and it talks about it almost being like a choreographed move. And Nicholas plays in the same way, and that could well be a final. We could see, obviously, Nicholas Desari. But before that, before even these second legs, we're looking at Mo Alba and Nicholas doing well. Do you think that if this stays the same way it is, and these two face off, Mo Alba can defeat the Argentinian?
I'd love to say yes, and anything can happen here at the FIFA eWorld Cup, but if you want to go off track records, I think they've played 7 times, and Mo Alba has beat him once.
Mo Alba said he hasn't got a game plan for Nicholas. He said that recently. He needs to get one. Has he got one in time? We're going to find out. Maybe if these games stay the way they are. To find out if they do stay the way they are or if they change, we'll go back over to our casters, Richard and Brandon.
Thank you very much, Spencer and Mike LaBelle. And you saw it there. It's happened a few times across a number of games. Fullbacks just being pulled out of position, and Mo Alba was one of those players that's been able to exploit that space time after time. This is how both games are looking and heading into the second leg. Mo Alba 2-0 up from the break, and Nicholas 4-1 against Houston.
It's going to be a free kick there for Mo Alba, first attacking play of the game.
2.5 minutes into it.
I like that.
Play short and not really rush or waste possession.
I like that, not rushing anything. Usually Mo Alba likes a layoff and then a green time shot straight away. We know how prolific he is with the green timing of the finishing, but just keeping hold of the ball. Try and work that clock down. He's got a 2-goal advantage.
I think that's the likes of MS Desari would do. And you're just a few goals up. Try and see out the game a little bit more. Look off possession when you need to. Could it be free? Oh, he deflects into his own goal actually from Ramos.
This is the best I've seen Mo Alba play in quite a long time. Probably since the virtual Bundesliga, where we saw him very, very strong.
Nice. Again, the press. So good, Havertz. That's the name of that tackle was needed from the Frenchman.
Went on to win the virtual Bundesliga on his side of the bracket on the PlayStation 4, only losing to Megabit in the cross-console final.
Again, as well, they did win the club championship, so a really strong year for Werder Bremen. When it comes to competitive FIFA. So, 2 of the best players in Germany. Maestro saw the idea. Nothing just seems to be clicking as of yet. In the final third, passes were going astray, passes too heavy. I mean, he wouldn't even go as fast as I've seen any time shots.
He's not been in a position really to time any shots. Mo's. We often talk about him defensively not being as great as Nicholas, as a Stefano Pina. But this game, this series so far, he's been very, very good at the back.
Here's Havertz now. Cuts back inside, looks for the runner. He will eventually find Cristiano Ronaldo, a few step-overs from him. Tried to croquetter his way into the box as well. That other game is underway as well. Houston against Nicholas. 4-1 from the first leg. Huge job to do for the Dane. We know he can score goals. He registered over 20 goals in his last 3 matches. Here's a chance for Maestro! Oh.
That had to go in. Not only for the scoreline, but for the mental side as well for Maestro.
Oh, 9 as well.
It gave him so much self-confidence, self-belief.
You know he can go on his left, he can go on his right foot. Fortunately, no way through though. There's that through ball once again, past the fullback. That was Mendy of all people as well, running the length of the field. Back in position now in a left back for Mo Alba. Chance to be in the console final. We know what the Xbox One will be. Ravsu against MS Desari. That'll be one of our matches tomorrow. Of course, you can get yourself down here to the O2 Arena. See potentially another eWorld Cup champion be crowned the new eWorld Cup champion. Maestro back in this game.
You see that? No reaction from Maestro. He knows he's got a big task in front of him still, as the rebound falls very, very kindly for him. R9, no mistake.
He needs to probably create a few more chances as well, Richard. That's probably what 2 chances we've seen in this game from him, the best 30 minutes we've seen across the 2 legs as of yet. 1-0 in this game. Maestro will lead on aggregate. He still trails by a goal. Win this, you jump up once again in the prize pot to $25,000. A $13,000 jump to put yourself in the best 2 players on your console in the world. Of course, everybody wants that eWorld Cup though. And the outstanding prize, $250,000. Maestro getting impatient there. You can see the press that he's trying to implement. Better from him though, that goal. It's giving him some confidence. And a press with R9. Look back at that chance with R9. It would probably be 2-2.
Yeah, 100%. The chances 4 for him.
And the finesse! He attempted it. Timed it green, sorry. It wasn't even a finesse, a standard shot. Back to goal. Once again, times it green. Everything being timed, everything being green. In and around the box from Mo Albert. That's still with another corner, there's Maestro. And in the end, it's dealt with. And a chance to play out from the back. Still 4-1. Nicholas against Houston. That second leg's underway, as we know. There you go, you can see the scoreline as well.
Yeah, still Nicholas 4-1 up, cruising to another championship Sunday for him.
There you go, you can see that game as well. It's a corner there on the right-hand side of your screen for the Argentine. In Nicholas, trying to build in his way and intercepted in the end by Modric. 33 minutes in there. He needs a goal before half-time, does Houston. I'll tell you what, he's on an attack now. There's an overlapping run, too heavy on the pass.
Just slightly rushed, weren't it? I like the idea of the move. Just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper to try a dink through ball there.
He's still going to be digging away. Nicholas will come forward again. He wants another goal. He could be in for another goal as well. Neymar one-on-one ball roll. Surely great goalkeeper movement there just to match it. That goal goes in. It's game over.
Just took a little bit too long, didn't he, Nicholas, there? After the ball roll. I think he ball rolled a little bit too early, in all honesty.
Added time of 2 minutes in our featured game on the left-hand side of your screen. Still 2-1 to Mo Albert. Sure, we'll jump back into it in a minute. Just 5 minutes left in the first half from Nicholas and Houston. Chance just missed by Nicholas. Back to this game now. Added time, last chance off, a little dink. It's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the box. I think it was R9 that went down, played shot into Neymar! And the breathing space is there once again for Mo Albert. 2-goal cushion. Is back for him. Such a simple free kick.
Yeah, through Van Dijk's legs, past the goalkeeper, because of the green from Neymar. And he were actually quite upset that the referee pulled it back for the free kick. He'll not be upset anymore.
I've just heard a huge roar coming out from the other game. I'm not too sure which way the goal has gone there. We'll find out any second now. Half-time in this game. 3-1 overall, 2-goal cushion. It looks like it's come to Nicholas on the stroke of half-time. R9's through. He's not wasting. I've waited 18 months for a reaction like that from Nicholas.
Yeah, that speaks a lot right there. If that's your first time watching it, you're thinking, oh, he's just getting excited because he scored. I don't think I've ever seen Nicholas react as emphatically as that right there since I've been commentating, really. Unless when he's won a tournament at the playoffs or at the Club World Cup. I've never seen him that passionate about scoring a goal. He knows.
That's the 5th goal as well. It's not like a match winner, it's a 5-1.
This is the one tournament that he wants to win above anything else. So people can stop saying, you've never won a World Championship. He puts them critics to bed.
I can assure you as well, the whole world of competitive FIFA is probably thinking, he's out of the competition after losing 3 rounds in groups. Think back to that game as well against Houston that he won. Round 4, 93rd minute winner on day one of the competition, which kick-started Nicholas.
If that don't go in, he gets a point from that game. He doesn't go through the groups.
Back to goal, what a finesse! Nearly found the side net. Just a little bit too wide from Mo Alba. Every single shot, as I keep saying, the last 4 or 5 chances, everything's been green.
Again, Maestro, he's done well to win it back, as the pass did stitch him up in the middle of the pitch.
Needs a goal now. Time is running out and he's getting very frustrated as well. Looks like Nicholas is on his way to another achievement for him. He never made Championship Sunday last year. The biggest day of the year when it comes to competitive FIFA. We have a number of Championship Sundays, but this is the FIFA World Cup Championship Sunday where there will be a new world champion. Last year he went out in day 2. Now he's on for day 3, Richard Buckley.
And will it be Nicholas lifting that trophy high above his head this time tomorrow? Will it be Mr. Sari defending for the first time ever?
Or
the World Championship.
There'll be a new French champion as well, Rapsu. He's up against MS Dasari tomorrow. It's all live here at the O2 Arena. History will be made once again in London. Mbappe. This is for Maestro. Nice. And once again, defensively, so sound is Mo Alba. Reading everything, timing all his tackles. Fake shot inside, this is Neymar. Look at Van Dijk.
Playing so well is Mo Alba.
And here's Ronaldo now. Ronaldo is through. He's got Ramos chasing him from this far out inside to one. No, that should be enough to put him into a console final. Mo Alba once again making another achievement for himself this year, getting himself into day 3 of the competition if he can hold on to this.
4-1 now. Mo leads. Mo Aubameyang, potentially. Will he be breaking the curse for the German FIFA community? Will there be an FEWC title finally coming back to Germany? By far, some would say the strongest nation in terms of FIFA ability. Players at events, players qualifying year round. They have the most numbers.
Well, everyone's been saying as well, Richard, where's their eWorld Cup trophy? Is this their year to do so? Back to this game now. 5-1. To Nicholas. 30 minutes left in that one. And that is the goal we just did see. Don't worry, I've not missed another one. I think it was Mo Alba that said yesterday, jokingly, he's mastered the groups, he's mastered Swiss. It's just the knockout stages, which we look at key points this year, Richard. He went 5-0 in a Swiss in Bucharest, got knocked out in the first round, quite a few months back, made the semi-final in the Continental Cup. He makes the knockout all the time. If there's one tournament to go well in the knockouts, it's the FIFA World Cup finals. At the moment, it's all going to plan.
That's a mistake. Ooh, Van der Sar bailing out Mo Alba there.
Not for a throw-in though, and just like that, our possession's changing hand. You can tell he's getting frustrated and a little bit lazy in some of his passes. Keeper's just off his line. This is Messi. Just flicks it back over his head. 3 goals in front. 17 minutes left, or just over. Danny Da Costa. Referee. Will be a free kick. Referee Mo Alba calls and the referee points for a free kick. He scored from one of these already, let's not forget that. Played it short and timed it green. 23 metres out, takes it direct and
just really rustling the side net in there.
Really goes into the back of the net.
Just not enough curl on that from Neymar. Just set it a little bit too far off the post. I'll tell you what, with 17 minutes left on the clock, we could very well be looking towards a Mo Alba Nicholas PS4 console final, aka the entire tournament, one of the semi-finals.
Yes. And that will make our final four as well. Joining MS Desari versus Rafsu on Xbox. Obviously, it's all about that cross-console final tomorrow evening.
4 players, 4 different nations.
And of course, as I said, you guys can get yourself a ticket for the final tomorrow in the O2 Arena in London. Mo Alba, is it time to put that place in the cross-console final? Just 12 minutes left. That would have been a 5th form across the 2 legs. Pull it into CR7 now, 10 minutes left. Looks for that scoop up cross into Messi of all people. And that clock will start to tick down. And unfortunately, it looked like the end of the road for Maestro. And defensively, he's been so good.
So solid has Mo in this series.
Another goal, why not? Get him in the console final. Mo Alba, job done.
And he's doing the Mbappe celebration to rub salt in the wounds.
You can tell he's enjoying himself. He won't amend that in a harmful way, though. He's all fun and games, is Mo Alba. One of the best personalities in competitive FIFA. And it looks like he'll be joining Nicholas in that console final. The best 2 players from the PlayStation this year. And both of them will be $25,000 richer. Nicholas fancied one more. He added one more. 6-1.
With 1st versus 5th on the Global Series rankings on the PlayStation. And 2nd versus 14th on the Xbox between Rafsu and MS Desari.
Hats off to Rafsu as well. He got out in the groups last year and he did not want to replicate that this year. He's now in the console final against the current world champion. Added time of 2 minutes. Mo Alba has done enough. Maestro will get a consolation if anything. Van Dijk back to defend, and Germany still could be on for a FIFA eWorld Cup win. Their first ever. Mo Alba gets the job done.
Mo Alba goes into day 3. Maestro crashes out of the competition in the final 4 on the PlayStation. Heading over to the other semi-final, and Nicholas running rampant. 7-1 right now versus Houston. He scored 7 against Zazinho. He scored 7 against Houston. Nicholas is on fire right now.
I'm sure I want to play his console final right now today and the whole tournament. What a day 2 of the competition he's had, and it's something we've said. It doesn't matter where you finish in that group, as long as you get through, that is all that matters. There's a reason why everyone that finished top in their groups, especially on this side of the console, isn't here. Just get yourself through. Everybody is at that same level. Nicholas wants an 8. And Modric will say no. Credit to Houston, came into today 6 points to his name. The exact same scenario as Nicholas knew that he had to get some wins on the board. And has taken himself to the last 4 in the competition. It might not be much now, but it's certainly something to look back on in a few weeks' time as a reminder of how good you've been this year. Pull it into Eusebio towards Messi. Who else to score the last goal of the game? Number 8. 8-1 on aggregate for Nicholas. He will be into Sunday against Mo Alba in that PlayStation console final.
He came into today on 6 points. He's been here since 9 AM this morning. We didn't go live with the broadcast until 11. He was practicing. He was warming up. He was very, very average in warm-ups. I don't think he won a lot of games. Since we've gone live today, he has not lost a game. Since he couldn't lose a game in groups, he was 0-3. He's not lost a game.
And now he wants number 9. Digs up to Mbappe! He is on fire. Here's Nicholas, back to the playoff form that he did show in Berlin. And he's ready for tomorrow. I'm sure Mo Alba will be looking at this game and going, oh God. This is going to be a really interesting console final tomorrow. 9-1 on aggregate. And he should still keep his head high. He's in a fantastic tournament.
Yeah, he's walking away with $12,000.
And Nicholas will be in the final two, Richard Buckley. There's the bracket. You can see both semi-finals. Mo Alba against Nicholas, and it will be MS Dasari against Rapsu.
4 nations, Germany, Argentina, Saudi Arabia and France. Who will be reigning supreme tomorrow? What a performance from Nicholas. He's the man to watch. Brandon Smith, what a day.
What a fantastic day of action. And it's all kicking off tomorrow. We will have a new world champion. Do not go anywhere.
Welcome back to the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final. Our second day is over. The last games have taken place and some unbelievable action that we saw. Just racking up the results here. Rapsu beating Rasic 6-3. MS Dasari 8-3 victory over Goal Machine. Mo Alba beating Maestro 5-1 and Nicholas beating Uston 9-1. Yes, you heard that correctly, 9-1. So we now know who will play who in the semi-final stage, and it should be an absolute cracker tomorrow. Spencer, unbelievable action. The result that jumps off that screen, 9-1. Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas is well and truly going, operating at full capacity. Obviously, we know he had a slow start yesterday, but we said every day is different. Question for him is if he can come and do it tomorrow as well. Because if he plays the way he's played in that game, I think he could be the world champion. Having said that, Emerson Tasari has won every single game. He's got Coach Gorilla in his corner, another former champion. What a team that's been. We haven't really talked about that enough.
No.
Having Gorilla as his coach. Seems to be working very well indeed. We could well see those guys play in the cross-console grand final, but right now, obviously, we have the console finals, aka the semi-finals, to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, two of the winners that have literally just walked off stage now. One of them is with Emma. She is with Mo Alba. Emma, over to you.
Yes, I'm here with Mo Alba, who is in to day 3. How does that sound?
It's amazing. It's my first time in my career. Like, I was 3 times here, 3 times I lost in this round. I just won it against Maestro and play more tomorrow in the final. It's amazing.
And we had a bit of banter before about you playing Maestro. Yeah. Some words were spoken. I've just seen you speak to him again. What did you say?
Yeah, I say GG, bro, because he's my friend, bro. I say my celebration is not against him. I only just play with the camera. So before he thinks I'm like against him or something. But yeah, he's an amazing player, but I played really well. And he said that. He said it's deserved. So yeah, we're okay.
And Nicholas up next. I think the stats are with him in terms of previous meetings, but anything can happen at eWorld Cup Grand Final. Anything can happen in FIFA. Yeah,
of course. I never played like this today or yesterday, so it's a different game, I hope. When I play like this, tomorrow is a different game, different day, so I have to be there on point because Nicholas is the best player on PS4. So when you not play your best and you need a little bit of luck, maybe I can win.
Well, what will you do tonight? How will you make sure you're on point tomorrow?
I don't know, man. I never had the day like I'm in third day, so I will ask my coach or my agency. So I don't know what to do. I will sleep, I think, but I'll be happy. So maybe I can't sleep today. I don't know.
You're so chilled out. Will you be this chilled out if you win tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. It's like FIFA, and also when I lose, I'm chilled out. So. You have to be yourself always. So yeah, I think it's why I'm here, because it's a big stage and I'm relaxed and not nervous. It's important.
All right, we'll go and chill, okay? Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Emma. Spencer, interesting hearing Mo Alba there, because he goes up against Nicholas. The form book is with Nicholas, but do you think he quite likes going into that, the fact that he's not favourite? Because that can work in his favour, can't it?
Yes, I don't know if he will like it. I don't think anyone wants to play Nicholas. I don't think he wants to play Nicholas.
No.
I don't think anyone does. I think yesterday's Nicholas, or the first 3 games, everyone would love a shot at, but that's not the Nicholas that's left now. The thing about Mo Alba is, we talk about this a lot, he's the guy that's got the biggest smile in FIFA. And the only thing worse than losing to someone is losing to someone when they're smiling at you. And that's what he's done to Maestro there. I know it's a bit of banter and they're friends, and we saw them interview before the game, but when he gets up and he does the Maestro celebration, I enjoyed it.
You think that was the same celebration, wasn't it? The exact same celebration. So it's a friendly rivalry, that, do you think?
I think he's just entertaining the crowd. I think it's, Maestro puts himself out there to be shot at, if you like, by doing the celebration. He's a good lad. He's got a good sense of humour. I think he'll see the funny side. Maybe not right now, because he's just been knocked out and his season's over. But in time, I think he'll appreciate the showmanship showed by Aubameyang.
Have you got some stats for us? I know that you love your stats. You've got some Mo Alba stats to give us before we have a look at the goals?
I've got some stats on all the guys, to be honest with you. So, like, we've got is like the total points everyone's collected. If there's 3 points available for every win, obviously that's only really in the group stage. But if we pretend there was, it gives you an idea of who's won the most games. So on 22 points from all the games played is Mo Alba and Aubameyang, the 2 PlayStation players.
Okay.
Suggests that the PlayStation side has maybe been more competitive, more spread of points. Rafsu's picked up 25 points. Mehmet Tasari, 36. He's won every single game of the games he's played. 47 goals scored. He scored the most of anyone left in the tournament. 22 goals conceded. He's conceded the less. So basically, these are saying that Mehmet Tasari would be the favourite if you're going by stats. In terms of goal difference, the worst goal difference is Mo Alba. He's got a plus 10 goal difference after 18 games played.
Wow, very loving those stats, Spence, as always.
You're welcome.
We have got some of the goals from Mo Alba. We'll focus on Mo Alba. So this was how he got to where he is now. Some great play here, Spencer.
Yeah, this is what Mo Alba does. He is very good going forward and impossible to stop when he's in his pomp and he's doing the best he can. Obviously, we see team of the season, Ronaldo, getting the goal there, and here's another one for you. Yeah, so the thing with Mo Alba is to not let him get in those opportunities. Yeah. He's a very quick attacker. He loves to counter-attack. He's got a number of different angles he can shoot from. He doesn't mind hitting it early, outside the box, from any angle. And unfortunately for Maestro, he couldn't stop him. Maestro's been a player who's had a fantastic year. He's won the E-Nations for France alongside Dax. I thought maybe it was France's moment. You know, they're the reigning world champions in traditional football. And they've won the E-Nations. I thought maybe France are going to go and win this bad boy this year with Maestro. It wasn't to be for him. Obviously, Rafsu's still in the tournament, though, so a French person could lift it.
On paper as well, Mo Alba Maestro, I thought that'd be a lot closer. It was a tough one when we were sitting down earlier, tough one to call. That 5-1, that surprised me. Did it surprise you how emphatic that was, the victory?
Well, when you get to this level, obviously you expect there to be tight games at times because of the level of the players and how well they've done. But the thing with Mo Alba is the way he plays. If he gets going, he just scores. And I think the scoreline is a little bit misleading because at the end, I think Maestro knew that his time was up. He had to commit a lot of players.
So he changed his game plan, you think, because of the score?
It opens up gaps. Yeah. It opens up gaps. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that was the story of the majority of the 2 legs. But Maestro's had a fantastic season. Right now, he'll be gutted. But he's an E-Nations champion. He's picked up a load of prizes throughout the year, lots of prize money, and obviously it's over for now, but I'm sure we'll see him again next year.
Got to touch on Maestro there. He had a good tournament, but he'll be very disappointed with how that unfolded. Should he have done anything differently, do you think? Because the result would suggest it was more one-sided than perhaps it was.
You've got to keep the ball against Mo Alba. As hard as it is, and I'll make it sound easier than it is, I can't do it. But you've got to keep the ball against Mo Alba, and he didn't do it enough. He allowed him to have too many chances. Mo Alba took his chances on his day. And there's another day Maestro could have won that game, of course. And he's a very good player, but I'd argue, if I'm being critical, because obviously the E-Nations which he won was a 2v2 format. He had a partner in Dax to help him. On the single player stuff, has he been as effective? He probably needs to evolve that little bit more to go further.
To go further in
but
future
that's something
years.
We've seen Mo Alba do. Mo Alba's just mentioned it in the interview there. He's had 3 years, he's been knocked out at the same stage in this tournament. He's kicked on, he's progressed to the point now where he's got himself 1 round further and he might not be finished.
Yeah, and of course the other winner was Nicholas, 9-1 victory. I haven't said that wrong, he won 9-1. That is incredible. And he is speaking to Emma now.
Yeah, I'm here with Nicholas, who is into day 3, and I feel like the Iceman is broken. We saw some celebrations from you there.
I think it's the tournament because it's so special, the FIWC, but I'm so happy now. I think the Iceman back, not too much, but back.
Okay, the Iceman is back. We like the celebrations though. Now it is Mo Alba up next for you tomorrow. How are you feeling about
that? We play each other like more than 10 times, I think. He beat me, I beat him, so I think we'll be like close. He's playing good now. I beat him in group stage, but now it's different.
And the casters were saying earlier during your match that you're in the same realm as Tex and Emma Stossari. You're that cut above. Something you agree with, and can you go on to lift the trophy?
Now I'm confident. I'm saying Dossari now is on fire. I think he won all games. He's on fire, but now if I'm playing like this, I can win. So, but he's on fire.
Well, hopefully you'll be on fire tomorrow, okay?
Thank you.
Great to hear from the Iceman there. I want to pick up on something that Brandon and Richard mentioned in commentary, which I thought was very interesting during that victory. It was 9-1, very one-sided victory. The Iceman, as he's known, very cool, very calm usually, but we saw real passion from him for one of the goals. That's quite rare, isn't it?
It just talks about him being on fire. Make your mind up. Be the Iceman and you're on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Cancel each other out.
What temperature?
No, basically, you're completely right. Yeah. I was very shocked when I was watching the game as well. I saw his reaction. I've never seen that in Nicholas before. I always expected we'd see it if he was to win a tournament like this and get that emotion out of him. But we call him the Iceman because he does keep his emotion quite within himself. I think it shows you the pressure he's under. I think it shows you what he's had to go through in this tournament. To come back from 3 games down, 3 losses, it's really hard. And not just him, Mo Alba as well, all these guys. I think for Mo Alba to do what he's doing and celebrating the way he is and play with a smile on his face in the conditions, not just this tournament, the pressure here and all the people watching, but the year they've had to go through, it's unbelievable. So fair play to them both. I think that Nicholas has... The 3 games that he's lost at the start is irrelevant now. You know, these players that are playing him aren't thinking about that. They're very well aware of the threat that he poses. And on his day, 9-1 against Uston. Let's remember, they're keeping Uston to 1 goal. It's crazy. Uston has still scored the most goals in the tournament. So he's still scored the most goals in the tournament. No one scored more than Uston, despite the fact he just only scored 1 goal across 2 legs. Shows you how many he was scoring before that. But Nicholas has been the one scoring past Uston.
And you say the one scoring, these were the goals that Nicholas scored against Uston.
Yes, that's Nicholas's first goal there. That's R9 Ronaldo going back to another goal here after Uston equalised. Similar finish, different post, of course. Low driven, past the keeper. Predicting that keeper movement very well indeed. Again, a similar finish. Once you get him in that area, Nicholas is going to be hard to beat. Another goal here, this time making it 2-0 in the second leg. Eusebio with that strike. And Nicholas, it just continued. This was very late in the second leg here, adding insult to injury. At this point, as we mentioned for the last game, you'd probably say that Uston wasn't playing his best. He knew it was over. You know, it's over at 6-1, let alone 7-8, 9-1.
You think 6-1 was the moment he knew?
Oh, I mean, before that, obviously, once you go 2 or 3 behind to Nicholas, you're in trouble. You know, with Nicholas, you need to get the early lead, as we saw with the guys doing in the group stage. And then Uston is a very attacking player, so he knows if he's conceding a lot of goals, he's going to have an issue. And he did concede 9 of them.
It's interesting, we were stood, should I say, not sat on this very stage yesterday. 3 games that he lost, as we said, that is history now. The 4th game that he won in the group, I believe a 92nd minute goal. That if Nicholas hadn't have scored that, he may have gone out in the group stage. You look at him now and he's flourishing.
It's amazing, these margins. We talked about the same with Tex and how he missed 2 penalties. Either one of those penalties scored would have put him through. You know, this is what we're dealing with. But it's not about focusing on this tiny margin, it's about using it and then showing what you can do. When you win a game against a player of Uston standard 9-1, no one can question your place in the competition. Obviously, the points alone prove that he's worthy of it. What's fascinating about the matchup between Mo Alba and Nicholas is they've got reverse records from the group stage. So essentially, as we've mentioned many times, Nicholas lost his first 3 games, won his next 4. Mo Alba won his first 4, lost his next 3. What does that mean for momentum? I wouldn't argue too much because they've played knockout games since then and they're both playing very well. But it shows you that Mo Alba started very well and then was found out a little bit, including by Nicholas.
Someone else that is on form is Raf Su, who scored some great goals in this one. We can have a look at some highlights of Raf Su. Someone else that we should talk about, Spencer, who's been in great form throughout this tournament. These were the goals against Danny.
Yeah, we probably haven't been speaking enough about Raf Su. He scored 41 goals in total in this tournament, 27 conceded. It's a plus 14 goal difference, the second lowest of any of the remaining 4 players. But when he gets going, Raf Su, he is, I believe, on his day, he's in that upper tier we talked about with the other players, the Nicholases, etc. His problem is he doesn't do it often enough. He has a lot of off tournaments. This isn't one of them. He's getting through to where it really matters, but he's going to have his toughest test. And I will say one thing which doesn't paint a good picture for Raf Su. He's got to play Emis Dasari. In the group stage they played, Emis Dasari beat him 6-0.
Yeah.
Let's remember that. How do you come back from that? If you're Raf Su right now, you're thinking, I haven't just got to beat a guy who beat me earlier. I've got to beat a guy who beat me 6-0. I couldn't score a goal past him in 2 legs. If Raf Su beats Emis Dasari, it will be one of the biggest shocks in FIFA history.
And of course, the other player we have to talk about is Emis Dasari, the reigning champion, who is just looks unstoppable, Spence. You mentioned the 6-0 victory there. This was the 8-3 victory against Goal Machine.
I mean, we talked about it with Mike earlier. With Emis Dasari, he plays like he knows what's going to happen. It's like he's seen the game already, and the opponent's playing catch-up. He's 1 step ahead every step of the way. And he plays with a certain panache, a certain style, a certain rhythm, was the word Mike used, against every player. This is against his rogue teammate, Goal Machine. He doesn't just beat players, he beats them comfortably. He scored the 2nd most goals of anyone in the tournament with 47. He's conceded the least of anyone to go this far in the tournament at 22. He's got the best goal difference, 25 points, 36 points, sorry, 25 plus 25 goal difference. 36 points because he's won every single game he's played. He has been undefeated. He has been perfect so far this tournament, but he's got to continue to be perfect if he's going to keep this trophy.
So there it is, the semi-finalists. Raf Su, Emis Dasari, who will play each other, and Mo Alba against Nicholas. Just finally, Spencer, looking ahead to tomorrow, of course, it is final day. I cannot wait for tomorrow. Tough for me to score. I'm not going to give a prediction. How do you see the 2 games going?
I'd be delighted for any of the guys to make it because they all deserve it, but I do think we're going to see the best possible final in terms of the year's points collective of the players that are left. I think we're going to see Rogue Emis Dasari versus Nicholas 99 FC from FC Basel. I think we're going to see an unbelievable final, and I really couldn't call it between those 2. Purely because of the fact that he hasn't lost the whole time he's been here, I'll say Emis Dasari.
And the event on the whole has been amazing so far, hasn't it? Just so many shocks. It's just been brilliant, isn't it?
It's been amazing. It's been everything we wanted and more. Loads of shocks, loads of surprises, some fantastic goals, and some exits from players we didn't expect. The lads that are left have got a chance of taking this home with $250,000.
It is not bad. Of course, we will be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock, for finals day to see who will be crowned the FIFA eWorld Cup Grand Final. We'll see you tomorrow.